Hey y'all, what's up? How's it going? Hump day. It's hump day. Just a couple more days left of the week, and we can have a weekend. Um, how's it going, Piggy?
Man, it's going. It's going. Hump day. I'm off Friday, so I was saying it's technically like a Thursday for me. So I can finally take some time and unbox a couple of pieces that I got that's been kind of waiting on me to check them out.
Got you. Yeah, I seen people complaining in the chat already. Jose saying, must be traffic at the hotel room, blah blah blah. So I figured, let's grace everybody with our presence.
They've earned us for today. They've earned us.
Everybody else is running late, so we'll see who shows up, who doesn't. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about real fast because I've been getting a lot of people messaging me lately about where I can get this statue, where I can get that statue. And if you're not haven't been around for a while, you probably don't know exactly who to talk to, how to get a hold of these people, blah blah blah. And I know we've talked about it before, but I just kind of want to delve into it again and just like a refresher for people and the ins and outs of how to collect a custom piece that you want. So real fast, let's say hi to people in the chat. Everybody but Jose, because Jose's talking shit. Mr. Kennedy, what's up? Otherwise known, aka Storm Shadow. 10467. Don't want to forget those numbers. Cylon, how's it going? Nice guy, what's up, man? I guess that's a hi to Jose. Ron Jeezy 83, what's up, man? E-Man, how's it going? Rob Stealth, how's it going? And everybody else will probably start coming in here later, but yeah. So let's just jump into it, I guess. So you see a statue that you want, right? Like a custom. It pops up on whatever group you're in at the time. You're like, man, I really want that statue. What do you do, Piggy? I have a feeling I know what you do, but
Well, since my buddy Big Game gets commission, I just mention any statue that I'm looking.
I wish I got commission, bro. I wish.
The next thing I know, the sculptors, the group that's sponsoring it, the painters, they're all hitting me up like, hey, send us the money for it. But no, yeah. Seriously, if it's not a group that I'm already a part of, because even though it's some of the groups are becoming a little more relaxed now, I'll let you know, or I'll let D3 know, hey, I'm looking for this particular statue. I saw it on somebody posted a picture, or I saw it on someone's show or something like that. And generally, one of you guys will point me in the right direction. As of now, I think I'm in most of the groups. So I see them firsthand. So yeah. I just want them to tell me that the PO is open, and I'll tell them I'm interested. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So currently, like you said, a lot of the groups you have to be in order to see new stuff that comes out or whatever. I know right now my particular group is like closed. It's like you have to kind of get invited to get to it. But I think I'm gonna open it up again so that way more people can join the group, because I know a lot of people keep asking me where's your group, how do I get a hold of you in your group or whatever. So I'm gonna open that up again too. But there's other places that you can go to look at custom statues too, right? Like A+ collectibles, what other websites, Statue Bros. They've got customs. He's got the show. What else? Our show, of course. Our Facebook group. There's a lot of groups out there that they show customs off, I guess.
There are even WhatsApp groups. Like I'm in one group that more of the adult centered statues, and they have a Facebook group as well, but they have a WhatsApp group as well, just to say, and this is what I love about them. Like they'll give you a vote. They'll say, we've been hearing a lot of people requesting these 4. We'll pick one of the 4. You guys vote. If we pick one of these, would you get in? Would you PO the statue? And they may say, here are the 4 characters. They open a poll, and whomever gets the most, they'll say, okay, we'll submit this for a render, but you guys better, stick to it and PO the statue. And I appreciate that, because you get input. They take it to the group to say, which one of these do you guys want more, because you've been asking for them. And those are just like the statues, without getting into like the STLs, because those are everywhere. Like you can find those on Etsy and eBay, things of that nature.
I try to steer the group kind of away from the STL stuff. To me, that's a different kind of thing. So I don't think I don't think at that point it's a collectible. It's something that you make yourself, and you either paint it or you pay somebody else to paint it for you. So to me, it's not a collectible at that point. It's like a hobby. It's like something that you would do on the side. If you had a printer or whatever. And I know people pay to get stuff printed. I don't know. I'm just kind of steering our group away from that. I'd rather just cover customs and be at that. So, but I know they're out there. Every once in a while, I'll show a dope one. There's like, they are getting better and better and better. But like I said, I try to steer, away from that stuff, because I don't necessarily consider it a collectible. Anything that you can just print, willy nilly and get as many of them as you want. I don't know. I just don't think it's collectible at that point. Again, like yesterday we were talking about, it's like this pin,
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true. But yeah, I think once you see the picture out there, because a lot of times you may just see. I'll tell you, the first custom that I saw was Luke Cage, Power Man. I saw the Luke Cage Power Man, and then a few days later, I saw the Bishop, the custom Bishop, where he's on. I can't think of his name, but I was like, man, so somebody had bought them and they posted it. So sometimes when you're not in the group, one of your friends that's in the hobby may post it on their pages. And you're like, man, where is this? Because I had no idea that people were making customs. So I'm like, what company makes this? Is this Sideshow? Is this XM? Like, who makes this? Until the guy reached out and he's like, yeah, it's a custom, bro. And I'm like, all right, so who made it? Put me on. And went through a whole rigmarole of trying to figure out who did it, who produced it, who made it. And that's how I started finding out about the groups. And then I saw Carl's show, the statue grows or whatever, and started to kind of dip my toe into the custom waters, so to say. Yeah. And thankfully, like you and D3 got the whole thing started. Like, let's bring the customs to the people. Where I was able to start asking you guys before I got into the groups. Where is this? Where can I find this? What's this statue? So
a lot of the things, man. Before I even started this channel or this group, it was all like cloak and dagger, man. It was like, it's gotten better over the years, but it was hard to track stuff down. There were groups where you had to go through an interview. Well, it's still like that. You got to go through an interview process to join. Yeah. So like. I the whole reason why I started this group was to help people out, and try to figure out how to get a hold of that statue that they want. Also to take away some of that fear people have of customs. Customs had a really bad reputation, over the years. Right now, especially, customs to me are doing better than licensed stuff. Like all the drama, all the issues, it's all in licensed stuff.
I agree 100%.
So, you get snickers. You start talking into these other groups and you're like these channels, whatever. You say that, and they're like, "Haha, that's funny," but it's the truth. Like, if you look at the drama comparatively, between issues. Don't get me wrong, the custom stuff's not perfect. But all the reasons why I hear people don't collect customs, it's the same reasons why they don't collect like the same things are going on with license. Oh, they're running away with your money. The quality control isn't good. All this stuff, you're seeing it like crazy in the license community right now.
So the reason I laughed when you said that, if you remember, I think you, D3, and maybe Matt kind of gave me the comfort to go ahead and order my first couple of customs, because I was petrified, because a couple of our buddies in the hobby were like, don't do it, man. They're going to take your money. You're never going to see the statue, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, man, I'm invested a lot of money into this. And I was like, how do I cancel? I was freaking out. I thought, after talking to these couple of people, I'm like, man, I'm never going to see my money until I talk to, you guys, and you're like, nah, you'll be okay. And then I went back to those same people and I was like, have you bought any customs? And they're like, no. It was like word of mouth. Like I heard.
It's always a word of mouth thing, man.
Yeah,
always.
Yeah, it was never any direct experiences. And I've had probably less issues ordering customs than I have ordering from the license companies. And that's 100% factual.
But people don't want to hear that. People were like, it's customs have such a bad, reputation in the community that people don't want to hear that. It's right now. It's better time to order customs than it is licensed stuff. People don't want to hear that, but it's true, and I'll keep saying that. There's a reason why, I'm one of those people that get really like obsessive to the point where like I'll do research on stuff. Like when I'm interested in something, I get like super like obsessed with it, and that's all I'm thinking about for a while. Like, I'm telling, like it's like that's all I see. So when I first started getting into collecting and like doing research, before I even bought any statues, dude, I was in the groups for about a year. I was being kind of quiet and I wasn't buying anything, but I was paying attention and doing research on what kind of statues I wanted, and all this stuff. And I kind of stumbled into the customs, and I was like, man, like, look at this one. I like the way this Wolverine looks. I want, all this stuff. And it seemed like the right fit for me. Like, especially at that time where like Sideshow was like coming out with 2,000 ESs on like the last Wolverine they had with the Wolverine on Sentinel hand. That was like ES like 2,000. It just, I think, finally sold out not so long ago.
And they released like 2 more since then, right?
Yeah, it's nuts, dude. Like, I don't know. I think differently when it comes to collecting than everybody else, I guess. I'm one of those people that I want my stuff to be special. I don't want everybody to have it, and I think a lot of people in the custom community are like that. It's more, I want to have something special that not a lot of people have. And it's not necessarily about the monetary value of it. It's having like something special in your collection. Like you're collecting something that everybody in the world doesn't have. There's maybe, let's say 30 people in the world that has that statue, not 2,000 people. And then if I want to get rid of it, it probably holds a higher resale value later on down the line, and I can fund another statue. That's what people used to do back in the day when they were trying to fund their collection. They would sell something that they wanted to get rid of and then fund that next statue. You can't do that these days.
Well, you definitely can't. But and I'll say for me, what really drew me into customs is because at the time, no one was making I didn't want the common characters that everyone else had. I wanted like these little niche characters that I was never gonna get. And then surprise, that I know the license companies were watching, because we had that whole phase where every time we got a custom character that wasn't being made, boom, we got it in license. And like I wanted that Mace Windu. I was never gonna get a Mace Windu ever from any licensed company until the group that's no longer around, that was giving us banger after banger for all the Star Wars pieces, they made that piece. If you wanted it, you had to go custom. When I wanted that custom Luke Cage Power Man, I wasn't going to get that statue anywhere else unless a custom. No one was making bishops back then when I got that bishop on Nimrod. Thanks, Jose. But until I got that bishop on Nimrod, none of them. And now like Sideshow's putting them out, other companies are putting them out.
Finally. Yeah.
Yeah, but at that time, if you wanted these little niche characters that weren't the common mainstream, like the DC Trinity or the Justice 7 or the most popular X-Men, you were not going to get those characters. You'll get 5 repeats of the character from different companies or even the same company before you got a little niche character.
And that was always one of the reasons why I loved XM. Like one of the many reasons why I loved XM was because they weren't afraid to do like those niche characters. They would do, you know, characters that weren't getting made, but like Iron Fist and, you know, certain characters, Black Bolt. You know, they were doing characters that hadn't get made. They weren't scared. Yeah. So that was one of the reasons. It was because that's what they came from originally, was actually a custom group. They were a custom group before they were even licensed. A lot of these groups start off as a custom group before you were even a licensed group. So there's a lot of big names. XM was a custom group. The one Thirst statues.
Prime One?
No.
LBS?
LBS was a custom group before, way back in the day. So you have a lot of these custom groups that start off as custom and they end up being licensed. So you know, it's just funny to me that you have all of these people out here that talk smack about it, but then, you know, a lot of the groups were custom groups to begin with.
You know, it's funny. I don't listen when people trash customs anymore because every single person that I'm not saying that has done it, but I'll say that has trashed them to me. At some point, I've posted a picture of a statue, and they've hit me up like, "Hey, where'd you get that? How much was that? How long did it take for them to get you? Is there any damage?" And I'm like, "You asking a lot of questions."
I'm seeing a lot more of that lately. I'm seeing a lot more. There's a lot of the guys that swore off custom groups, like the bigger names in the community, like on the YouTube channels. I see them hunting down customs in the custom groups. So, you know, and these are the guys that would talk smack about customs, and now they're trying to hunt them down. So it's just funny to me. But even with that, you know, they still won't come out and say, well, you know, I collect customs, or, you know, because, you know, once they go down that route, you know, it's harder for them to get a sponsorship and do all that stuff. But you know, I started this channel. I didn't really worry about that. I'm not trying to get, you know, astronomically, you know, the numbers on this channel. I've never been about that. If I wanted to do that, I definitely would have started a licensed channel instead of a custom, you know. So but yeah, I don't know, man. It's just frustrating to me when I see, you know, everybody talking smack about the custom stuff. And, you know, especially people that haven't bought it before, you know, so.
And then they stop talking smack when you find out that they got that custom in the corner that they never have on the, until you see that room tour and they got to quickly move the camera.
Yeah, that's a custom, blah, 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 yeah.
Yep.
Real fast, Ron Jeezy, he's asking, how does one even get considered to join the group? I have a handful of customs, but I had to deal with eBay and Facebook Marketplace to get them. So I don't know if you're talking about my group personally or the actual custom groups that are out there. So if you want to join my group, I'm gonna open it up probably tonight or tomorrow, so people can join. Like I said, it was closed. There was an issue last year about some custom stuff that was coming down, and people were getting in trouble for it. But I'm going to open back up again, and, you know, because you're not the first person to ask about that. A couple shows ago, some people were asking how to get in the group, so I'll open that back up. But so to get into like a custom group, let's say you see something that you like, and I point you in the right direction. You can't just join the group most of the time. They're the smaller groups that are like that. But the bigger groups, the well-known groups, the ones that you know, have the better customs, basically they want you to buy a statue first. You know, you got to pre-order or buy a statue first before you can get in the group. Then they'll let you in the group. Now there is one group out there that it's even harder than that. You probably have to buy a couple statues before they even let you into the group. That's just how a lot of these groups do it, you know. So they kind of want to have people that actually buy the statues in the group, because there's a lot of people that say they're interested, but they won't buy anything, right? Same thing, you know, in the license community, you know, with the, you know, that Ghost Rider, for instance. Everybody said they wanted a cheaper Ghost Rider, but no one ended up buying it. So that's basically how you end up joining a group. You know, you find somebody that has connection to it, you know, custom produced, or, you know, one of the guys in the panel, they can point you in the right direction. Or you can ask in the group and say, hey, has anybody seen where this statue, how do you get a hold of the statue? Who's the commissioner for it? Blah, blah, blah. 9 times out of 10, I can kind of direct you into the right place. And I'll ask you too. I'm like, you know, are you serious about buying the statue? Because I won't send anybody to a commissioner unless they're serious about it. You know what I'm saying? If they're ready to pre-order that statue right then and there, I'm not going to send you to the commissioner, because I don't want to waste his time, you know, with sending somebody to him that's not going to buy a statue, that's kind of window shopping. But if you're interested in that statue for sure, I'll send you to him, and then y'all kind of deal with, you know, however much the custom ends up being. You know, he gives you the price and the PO, and that's how you, 9 times out of 10, that's how you get into a custom group. So
the other thing is, a lot of times the groups aren't being like, some people are like, oh my God, why do you have to go through all of this? They have to protect themselves because they can get in trouble just because of the nature of what they're doing. And I mentioned that Mace Windu earlier, the group that made that, if maybe some of you are newer and don't know, they kind of got in trouble and got shut down. So it's really easy to if you let someone in a group and they're there for like nefarious purposes or whatever the case is, they can get in a lot of trouble. So I understand the security. Definitely.
That's kind of how it's always been. You know, they kind of, you know, close ranks, and you know, they don't give out the information. Like a lot of the commissioners, that's not their real name. That's not, you know, what they look like on their profile picture. It's just, you know, it's there to protect them against, you know, something, you know, a big company coming after them. And you know, that's why sometimes they make you jump through hoops. Sometimes they'll ask you, you know, like I've had commissioners ask me, you know, how many custom statues do I have? Show them pictures of my statues. Show me in the picture with the statues. Stuff like that. Like, you know, it's just part of it, man. Like when I first started doing it, it was kind of annoying. But now I know to expect that, so it doesn't annoy me now. And most of the commissioners know me anyway, so I don't have to deal with it anymore. But for somebody that's new, that's out there, you know, that's something potential that could happen. They're going to ask you, you know, how many statues you have, how did you get a hold of me? Like if I just send you to him and I don't do like a 3-way conversation or whatever, just stuff like that, they'll ask you questions. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, with the bigger companies, you're going to have to pre-order something in order to get into the group. That's just the way it works. I know it's weird. It was weird for me too. It was like, well, how do I know what group to pre-order from if I'm not in the group? You know, it's like, you know, that's a cool statue, but I don't know what group is in, you know, so it gets a little easier once you start getting into a lot of the custom groups, because you'll see when the stuff comes out and whatnot. But it's just part of the process, man. It gets easier as it goes.
You get used to it, like you said. It's just like second nature. I'm already expecting that, like if it's some group that I haven't heard of, or somebody that's popped on the scene, or that I've never been interested in any of their pieces before, so I'm not in the group and now I want something of theirs. They'll even know who I am, and they'll be like, well, you've never won anything from us before. And Buttons is like, well, now I want this piece. And they're like, what's the last custom piece you bought? And what other groups are you in? I'm like, damn, just let me. But I understand. So
it's also to protect them from guys. So there's a lot of guys that will like pre-order something and then disappear. Like they'll stop making payments. And the custom community is a little different. when it comes to that stuff, because it's not a big name company. It's not Sideshow or Prime One where you can just stop paying. They have a pool of money that goes to these statues in order to pay them off. And when somebody doesn't pay their share, it kind of hurts everybody else too. That's kind of what they try to avoid too. That's why they ask you how many custom statues you have, because if you have like one statue, it's kind of hard to judge somebody. Okay, well, he doesn't necessarily buy a custom statue, so how do I know I can trust him to continue paying on a pre-order that whatever. So it's just something that's another way that the commissioners protect themselves, because there's a lot of people that say that they're in on something and then disappear.
It's kind of like, when you were young, like I've been working since I was 14, and I remember going to get my first job, and they're like, do you have any experience? And I was like, I'm 14. And they're like, well, we kind of don't want to give this to you without any experience. And I'm like, but I can't get any experience unless you give me the job. You know what I mean? Yeah, so
it's a catch-22, man. It's a catch-22. But once you get into it, it's easier. It's just getting your foot in the door, right? Like, it sounds ridiculous, but it's once you get your foot in the door, it's a lot better. Also, I know somebody like in my group, I think last week or the week before, brought up a good topic where they were talking about like what do we consider reputable? Like, they were, I guess they were saying that we were throwing, quote unquote, throwing that around, what reputable, what does that mean or whatever. And I thought it was a good topic, so it's something that we've talked about before, but like me and D3, we won't send anybody to one of these groups that aren't reputable, that don't have a quote unquote good like a good track record in the community, right? Like either getting their statue shipped out, or having any kind of like issues where they resolve them, broken parts they resolve, something like that. We're not going to send anybody that has a bad reputation. We're just not going to do that. And I've said that before, but again, there was a question brought up about it. I think last week. But and you might not believe what I have to say, but I don't think me or D3 will steal you, point you in the wrong direction, because we're kind of here to try and help people out, not take advantage. So I'm not making any money on pointing you in the right direction or wrong direction. So
anybody that ever asks me, I tell them this is my experience. This is my experience with the company. You know what I mean? I can only tell you what my experience is and what other people I know, where it's like, hey, I've gotten 3 statues from them, and I know Jarhead has one from them. You know what I mean? Like, I can tell you what I know them. So that's all we can tell you. So based on our experience, this company has been reputable. I haven't had any issues with this particular company. And if it's a company I don't know about, I'll just say, hey, that's a dope looking statue, but I've never ordered anything from them. You might want to check with Jarhead or D3.
Yeah, I won't point anybody normally in the direction of those groups that don't have a track record, right? Because to me that's important. Like if they only have like 1 or 2 statues that they produced, or I don't know them personally, like, because I know newer groups, right, that have commissioners that are new to the community, or like newer commissioners, but they've been in the community for a while, and I've heard good things about them. So even if they haven't produced anything, I'm still going to say they're reputable, just for the simple fact that they've been in the community for a while. They've sold things. They have a good standing name within the community. So I'm going to say they're reputable. That's another thing that I want to disappear. But
they've been around 10 years. They're not going to take your money.
Yeah. Like if I don't trust that person, I'm not going to send you to them, is basically what I'm saying. I might tell you the name of the group, but I'll tell you, hey, I don't know anything much about this group, or I don't know the commissioner. I don't know what they've done in the past. So I'll warn you beforehand. I'll send you to them, or I'll give you the name of them, but it's up to you at that point. But I'll let you know, hey, I don't think this group is, been around for a while. You might want to be careful. I'm not gonna send anybody to a group that, like I said, I wouldn't buy from, that I haven't bought from. I have my favorite groups out there that I stick to normally, that I know that have been, producing stuff for a while. They have pretty good quality control and all that stuff. Like, I stick to those groups mostly anyways. So if I'm not gonna buy it, I'm not gonna send you to one of those groups either.
But that's the thing too. I just thought about it when you said like you have your favorites. I have a better relationship, and of course their logistics, like, yeah, they're smaller or they make smaller ESs. But I'm just saying the fact of the matter is, since ordering customs, sometimes you form a relationship with the people that work at your favorite groups, like those sculptors or those people that set you up for PO. So I feel way more comfortable with my favorite custom group than I do with most of the licensed groups. Like licensed group Prime 1, I'm waiting on my IV 3.5 years now. But with the custom groups, at least, and again, yes, I know they're smaller, blah blah blah, but they reach out.
It's that mom and pop feeling, right? Yeah. I can get a hold of the commissioner anytime, pretty much, and say, hey, what's going on with the statue, blah blah blah. Whether he answers me or not, I still can reach out to him. I can't do that with the license company. I mean, I could, but the custom group's probably going to come to me before. Yeah, mm-hmm. I'm going to hear from the custom group way before I hear from a licensed company.
And they keep you informed. Well, at least my two favorites, they keep you informed every step of the process. They're like, hey, this is where we're at. Hey, this just got printed. Hey, look at this first paint. How does this look? So more involved.
And that's kind of why some of the pictures that, like, even tonight, I'll have pictures in the slideshow where I'm showing, in process pictures, right? Because that's one of the things I love about customs too. That's one of the things that drew me to them, is because they will go step by step by step by step. They'll go, okay, this is the PO. We want the second payment at this time. It's very organized and straightforward, and saying, okay, this is this next process. This is the pictures that we're showing you of in hand, or people, or there's a production, or a lot of the groups now, some of the bigger groups, some of the better groups will show you the prototype and the piece that's about to ship out, so you can look and see that it looks exactly the same. Licensed groups don't do that, man. I've been wanting Sideshow to do that forever, and they won't. And when you get it in hand, it ends up being different. Look at the new Prime 1 Hush Superman. Same thing. Everybody's saying, oh, well, Prime 1 always matches their prototype. That one did not. There's no way. That did not match the prototype when it first came out and was shown. It didn't have all that blue shading and dark areas on the legs and stuff like that. So I like that customs do that.
I feel it makes you even, like, you value your statue a little more, because it's like you feel you saw the whole process, the development.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
it's like your baby. It's like, you saw it. You got her pregnant. You're with her you were with her the whole pregnancy. Then you paid the shipping cost in the last fee, and that was like the birth, right? Like, you like, okay, push, like you saw it from inception all the way till the baby was born.
It's a quarter scale.
Yeah, it's a quarter scale. It's a 1/3. Like, I mean, that's.
And the other part, like you said, that mom and pop relationship. What I like most about that, like, one of the guys in one of the groups, like, he knows me. Like, sometimes he'll ping me and, like, ping like I'm at work. He'll message me and say, hey, I'm thinking about this, or what do you think about? I know this is one of the characters that you love. We're thinking about doing it. What do you think about this? And they'll even tell you, like, hey man, get your money ready. In about 3 weeks, that final payment is going to be due. And yeah, license companies, they'll email you and tell you stuff like that, but I can get lost in the your bulk mail or your spam or your junk mail or whatever. These dudes, and of course, again, smaller scales, I understand before people start saying that, but it just gives you that extra feeling when they're like, hey man, get your money together. 3 weeks.
I would much rather deal with a custom group than dealing with a corporation or a no-name, Sideshow, great. They have great customer service. If something breaks or whatever, that's awesome. But they don't do the little things that the custom groups do. Like I said, like where, you know, they'll show the prototype next to you know, the statue that's about to go out that you're gonna actually get in your hand, and they will show you a picture side by side and say, okay, spot the difference. You know, I love that. I love that because I know if I'm gonna spend that much money on something, I want to make sure it looks exactly like how I pre-ordered it. That nothing pisses me off more when I get something in hand and I was like, that's not what I ordered, man.
Yep. One more thing I want to mention, since I don't want to go down this topic because I think it's been kind of talked about a lot this week everywhere, but the hot topic this week has been reissues or whatever. And my favorite thing about customs is 9 times out of 10 they're like, hey, we're going to do this in quarter scale and third scale, where they're like, for example, the Apocalypse that I'm getting, they had 3 versions. Maybe it's down to 2 now, but at first they had 3 versions.
It's two now.
But they let you know, like, here's the purple suit, here's the blue suit, here's the comic version or whatever the case is, and you get to make your choice, or they let you know we're giving you all of these different variants at the same time
up front. Yeah,
you buy the purple one, and then 2 months later, you know, they're like, well, we're doing a blue one too. And you're like, well, why didn't you tell me that 2 months ago? I like the fact that they're upfront with it. So
yeah. I like I said on Casual Show yesterday, man. Like, you're not gonna run into a custom group doing that. Like, first of all, the ESs are way smaller, right? So, but you're not gonna run into a group doing, hey, I've got a reissue of this statue that I did 3 years ago. Now, if they like, I did see a group doing something similar to that, but they changed the whole like stance of the character. They changed it up. It went from a bigger statue to a smaller scale statue. So like it's a different statue. It's just, you know,
it's the same character, but it wasn't
the same character.
Old, which is
it's a totally different pose. Like before it was a more action pose, and this one they're doing is more museum. Same kind of sculpt, but they just changed the how the body is moving, I guess. But you're not gonna run into that, man. That's another thing. All the like issues that the license companies are having right now, you're not running into that stuff in the custom community. And it's like, oh well, they're gonna run away with your money. Ha 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 ha. Like that's the first thing anybody that's the first thing anybody says back at you. It's like I collect customs or whatever. You know, if you say anything about customs, oh, they're gonna run off with your money. Think about that for a second. Think about what you just said. The custom groups are gonna run off with money. XM, Tweeter Head, right? What other groups run out with people's money? The smaller there's all the other groups that closed down, right? That's made the smaller scale statues.
Yep.
You know, Prime One. You know, they haven't run off of anybody's money yet, but
I've just been waiting for my Ivy for half a decade.
You've been waiting, you know, 5 years for your damn statue, and then once you finally get it, it's like, well, you know, it's a quarter scale statue, but I'm going to charge you $1,000 to ship it to you now, even though I said it was
it doesn't even fit in the direction of my collection anymore. It's been so many years that I'm waiting on it, you know, potentially.
Yeah.
And I think that should be a good deciding factor for the collector that wants their statue, you know, the ones that are like very concerned about ES size or very concerned about their statues retaining value when they go to resell it. There you go right there. Your statue is going to go up in value because they only made 30 of them. If that's the ES, that's the ES. Ron Jeezy made a point. He said Spawn last year was one of those, quarter and third also. From a licensed company, they don't make money like that. So they want to sell you one at a time, or sell us one at a time. Pure marketing and sales tactics. They don't give a F.
Yeah, like I said in yesterday's show, man, like I'm the type of person, I'm very like ethic driven. Like I'm like respect is like earned type person. Like, you know, if you give me respect, I'm going to give you respect. If you tell me something, I'm going to believe you until you give me a reason not to. I'm always been that way. I'm not one of those people that, oh, well, you know, they said it, but I don't believe them type. Like how Budgie was saying, you know, you really expect these guys to live by their word and stuff like that. Yes, I really do think people should honor what they say. I don't think, you know, it's not a sales tactic. That's not sales. I used to do sales back in the day when I was a recruiter for the military. Like that's sales. You're selling the military. You're telling people to join the military. But I didn't have to lie. I never lied about anything that in order to get one off on somebody. You know, I don't agree with that.
Integrity.
Yeah, it's integrity, bro. Like people, you know, maybe that's a word people don't use these days, but they should. Like, I'm a man. I believe that you know, you have certain things in this life, and one of them is your word. Like,
Word
you
is
know,
bond.
you don't break it. Yeah, you don't break your word, man. So that's kind of one of those things too, where you know, that question got brought up the other day about about these groups being what was that word I was talking about earlier? When we suggest people to go to these groups, right? Like that was kind of like saying, you know, why should we trust you? You know, pointing us in that direction of these groups. Again, I'm the type of person that I stand by my word. If I say something, I do it. If I even say something, it's because I believe in what I say, you know, first of all. And if I promise something, I stand by it. And I think everybody in life should be that way, let alone this community. It would, you know, you got these people that run away with your money. You got people that, you know, are just shady, you know. So those are the people that don't live up to the word, right? So people are better off if you just man up and if you say something, do it, you know.
I think it was what makes them reputable. Was that it? What makes them?
Yeah, the reputable word, right? Like, I'm not going to send somebody to a group that's not reputable in my mind, in everybody else's mind. If they're a shady group, they're a shady group. I'll say they're a shady group. You know, I won't point you in that direction. So Ron Gigi says, easy with the XM fighting words, bro. I'm praying and for proud RC still from the G1 live. I'm, you know, XM, you know, I don't want XM's downfall at all, man. But you know, the stuff they've done the last few years, you know, it's ground for people to be upset about it. You know, like I'm sure you were supposed to get those statues a long time ago, and you haven't got them yet.
It's on the ship with my Ivy, man.
right next to it.
Yeah. Double same day at the retirement.
And XM was my favorite licensed group. You know, they were by far my favorite group out there. And you know, you have these groups. Oh, well, they'll never steal your money. Prime One will never steal your money, but the custom groups they will. You know, you hear that all the time, and it's not true. Like anybody can run away with your money 8 times. Even the licensed companies. They're showing it to you right now. Tweeterhead, XM, you know, these groups at any time can run away with your money. You know, so just because they're a licensed group don't make them necessarily better than a custom group.
And again, we all love XM, and I have Tweeterhead pieces all throughout my collection. I have XM pieces all throughout my collection, but their business practices are what they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're atrocious right now. They're horrible.
Some of my best pieces, when I opened the XM Black Panther, the Beta Ray Bill, and the Red Hulk, I think those are, and even the theme from Fantastic Four. I remember looking at all of them like, this is art, man. This is art. So
that XM Black Panther, man, I was looking at that statue the other day, man. That still holds up to this day. It's a great statue.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to talk trash about licensed companies, but I hate it when people in these groups and in the YouTube channels, they talk smack about customs groups, but you know, and the first thing they say is, "Oh, they're gonna run off with your money." That's the first comeback anybody in these license groups will tell you. "Oh, they're running off with your money." Okay, well, what's going on in the license community right now? All the drama, all the issues, all the people that are, you know, feuding. You know, you have these YouTube channels that are feuding with each other, right? These are all licensed companies, all licensed groups, licensed YouTube channels. They're all talking smack about each other, disrespectful to each other. People run away with your money. All this stuff you're dealing with that in licensed group. I don't have any of that drama over here. There's none of that drama shit over here. So, and I don't want it, man. Like I said, I prefer that I deal with people that will stand by their word. You know, if I'm gonna do it, I want people around me that are the same way. So, and I promise I won't send you to somebody that I think shady, because that's what good is that gonna do? You know, I want everybody to get the statue they want and be a happy collector. So,
I think I think it's just people hating on what they don't know and hearing hearsay. Because, like I said, I remember being so excited when I PO'd that Luke Cage. I was because it matched the comic, and that's one of the comic books from my childhood, man. So I was even looking at the comic in anticipation of the statue coming, that nostalgia feeling, the memberberries, and immediately somebody hit me up, and they went on for about 30 minutes, and by the time they were done, I was like, damn, I'm never gonna see that statue. I'm never gonna get my money. Never. My statue came, 0 problems, 0 issues, and that was one of the smoothest transactions I ever had outside of, opposed to the horror stories I've had that everybody knows about, so I won't beat that dead horse, with the license companies.
Yeah.
3 of them to be exact. So.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying customs are perfect by any means. Just like Walton here saying, you know, the only problem is you don't know when someone was turned shady, and, you know, running away with their money or whatever. I understand that. I'm not saying that's not a possibility, but I'm also saying it's a possibility with the license groups too.
Yeah.
Because when I start talking about this is the first thing somebody says. And you got to apply that same mentality to the license groups now. Because
XM.
why?
XM. How many people are waiting on XM statues?
Because even Walton says the world economy is in the tubes right now. It's going to happen, right? He said that, but prior to him making this statement right here. So if you know that, license companies can do the same damn thing and disappear on you and disappear with your money. They can do the same thing. So why not take a chance on a custom? If you're taking the chance on a license group, because you are, regardless if you know they've been around for a long time, you know, either custom or license, they can run away with your money. It doesn't matter. You know?
Ron Jeezy just said he's been 2 years waiting on that Pearl from XM.
Yeah. And you've ordered plenty of license statues that you have not received. Like, you ordered those statues when I first started probably collecting.
And still
That's
waiting.
Nuts. And you're still waiting. I had pre-ordered a custom for, I wasn't worried about it because he was updating us the whole time. So it wasn't like we weren't hearing things. But the longest I've ever had to wait for a custom is 5 years. And that was that Magneto on Throne, right? Amazing statue. But like you said, my collection is going in a different route. So I decided to sell my pre-order for that statue and give it to somebody else. You know, obviously they didn't have to wait for 5 years. It's like they're getting a statue instantly. But I waited 5 years for that statue. And I said, you know what? I already have a Magneto on Throne. And my statue's kind of going in a different direction now. So there's no point for me to have 2. So, you know, sometimes you wait long and your direction goes in a different, you know, in a different route.
Even Ron brought up the point. He said, hate to say it, but look at Tweeterhead, a local US based company. And you guys know I won't even get started on Tweeterhead.
Like I said, man, it annoys me because especially with people that I've done like YouTube streams with or people that I've been around, and the first thing out of their mouths is, oh, that custom group's going to run away with your money. Do you really think I'm going to point you in a direction of a company that's going to run away with your money? You know, obviously anything can happen, right? But as far as I know, I'm not pointing you with ill intent. I'm not saying, hey, look at this guy, look at this stupid guy. I'm going to send him to this group that I know is going to run with their money. You know, if they've been around for a long time and they have a good reputation, you know, why not try and buy a statue from them? You know, same thing with the license companies, you know. So
I know somebody that they pooped on customs so much, and one day we were FaceTiming, and I looked behind them, and I was like, "Am I seeing a whole bunch of custom statues?" And they were like, "Well, those are anime, so it doesn't really." I was like, "Yeah." So people are saying that they're talking
buck fangs. Let me drink some water.
I was trying to conceal the identity to protect them, but yeah, and like Ant just said, I'm so blessed. My custom group has made so many X-Men. I don't have to worry about running off with our group's money for now. Ant's got like 5 billion X-Men in his room, custom.
Yeah.
Not an issue. Live unboxings and everything.
Well, he used to be one of the biggest advocates for XM, right? Like he used to, that was his thing, was XM statues. The majority of his statues were XM, and now a lot of his collection is customs. You know,
that blob
show you know,
I think that's one of the dopest statues out there. I haven't saw a custom company do a blob yet. I mean, maybe I'm just overlooking it, but I haven't saw that.
There's one more company doing one right now, but yeah, you don't see a lot of these characters. That's another reason why people should collect customs, right? There's all these characters out there in the world that people can make, but they stick to, like, license companies stick to the same characters to make money off of. Like Bishop, right? Like Bishop was one of my favorite X-Men growing up. Nobody in the license community was making one, and the only people that were making them were custom groups. And lo and behold, now Sideshow decided to make one. You know, I guarantee if XM was still around, they would be making a Bishop too. If they saw all the big issues, the hoopla about all these bishops that were coming out, XM would have made one.
As you guys call it, my blue room. That room is majority customs because I wasn't gonna get a blue marble, and I got 2 versions so far. I was never gonna.
Who's gonna make a blue marble, bro?
I was never gonna get a Bishop when I got that Bishop. I was never gonna get a classic Luke Cage. That Black Panther where he's on the Panther head, the huge one that everybody asked me about to this day. I've never seen anything like that from the custom companies.
Real fast in the chat. If you have never bought a custom before, is there a character that you would take the chance on if somebody was making a custom of that character? Because you're never going to get it in licensed. If you've never bought a custom, in the chat, is there a character that you would buy that would turn you to buy a custom, your first custom? I don't know if there's anybody in the chat that hasn't bought a custom before, but I don't know, man. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff out there that groups aren't making. You know, they're not making, you know, characters with cigarettes and you know, even like the White Queen, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I see the White Queen, I think of her a certain way, and that was with that bustier and like the, you know, the fur around her neck and panties and the thigh high boots, right?
Sexy.
XM didn't make it that way. XM didn't make it that way, right? That's not my Emma Frost. There's a custom group doing exactly what it looked like on the X-Men card that I think of when I think of her, that character, making her exactly how, you know, she was in the comics. You know, a lot of licensing companies can't do stuff like that. They're not going to make those characters looking like that. You know, even if it was accurate to the comic books, they're not going to do it.
You're 100% right. Remember, I was at that spot that I'll go to on Sunday that D3 and I tell you guys about, and I was like, I'm at the guy's spot with the cards. He had that card with that Emma Frost, and I remember saying, like, a licensed company would never. they would never. And we're getting it from the customs. My She-Hulk. Of course, like, I have the sideshow She-Hulk, and she's, say that 10 times fast. I have the sideshow She-Hulk.
Yeah.
She's pretty cool, and I like her, but the custom one that I got, to me, that's what I think of when I think about She-Hulk. That's like the comic books for me. That's what I saw growing up, what I read all the time. So
I'm not one of those guys that have to have one of those like sexy statues. Like I don't I don't buy statues like that. You know, that's not my thing. But like when it's a character like that, like that was her costume.
Yeah.
Psylocke, right? XM made a Psylocke. You know, looks nothing like the costume that she had in the comic books. The only way I'm gonna get something like that is customs, man. Even Sideshow, they made one where it wasn't like, because I hate to say it, but the string went up her butt, you know, in the comics, you know, so it wasn't like a full, you know, V on the back of her butt in the comics. So Sideshow accuracy, you know. So what's up, Matt?
What's going on, guys?
You came in at a good time.
I know. I see critical mass. Critical mass. I hear you, buddy.
So I don't know if you caught what we were talking about today. Basically, kind of directing people to where to go, to how to buy a custom statue, the steps that, you know, how to do it, basically, whether it's talking to us or whatever. Also, like what they can expect to, like when they're trying to buy custom, like what to expect from the commissioner to ask. You know, how do you get into the group? Basically, you know, a lot of the groups you have to PO a statue in order to get into the group. So we're just kind of talking about that kind of stuff right now.
Yeah, I was catching the stream as I was driving, trying to get back in to get to it. Yeah, no, you know, I hear you. You know, the bulk of the conversation was about who's taking off with money, you know, or who's going to be, you know, it could happen anytime, right? And you never know who's gonna do it, you know. But you know, you go with guys that have a consistent track record. And that's what I guess reputable means, you know, people who have always been consistent, you know. And I think, you know, just like any other thing, a license group, you know, they have a consistent track record. So, but you know, it's part of it, though. You know what I mean? It's part of it.
Yeah. With this economy, just like Walton was saying, this economy is pretty crazy right now. Any company, licensed or custom, can fold at any time, you know. But I would rather put my faith in a group that I know has a track record, right? And right now, like the license companies are letting me down. You know, they're like, you know, XM, we said earlier, Tweeterhead, you know, Prime One to an extent, because they'll tell you a date of when you're supposed to get your statue, and you won't see that statue for probably another year or two after that date. That doesn't always happen in the custom world. It happens once in a while in a blue moon, but a lot of times, you know, you're gonna get your statue between a year and 2 years. I've gotten my statues in 6 months before, so yeah, it just depends. Just like license community, right? Like there's some groups that you'll get your statues super fast. Sideshow lately, you know, you're getting your statues in like under a year, which is crazy, right? And there are groups that have produced in the custom community that get your statue to you in under a year. So, you know, I can't predict that kind of stuff, because you never know what group's going to do what. Some commissioners are busier than others. Some factories are busier than others. Like there's a lot of groups that use the same factory. Even licensed groups use the same ones that custom groups use. That's another thing too. You know, you hear people say, "Well, customs don't have great. They're not as
paint, all of that."
They're not. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same factory. People say, "Oh, customs aren't as good as licensed stuff." That's true to an extent, but I've seen some customs smoke licensed companies. You know, it just depends on the group and what factory they're using.
Yeah, especially lately. And then when you talk about sculpt and paint, I guess I'll have to say shout out to Buck for my Usagi. But my Usagi, so many people hit me up, was like, oh my god, man, that sculpt is amazing. That paint is amazing. I'm like, it's custom.
Yeah. I will put that Omega Red behind Matt up against any kind of licensed piece out there for paint.
Bro, an older no, go ahead.
Good.
An older piece that Matt and I both had and loved is the Wolverine versus Wendigo. Not the one you like give your whole collection for a jar, but the older. To this day, Matt and I think we were forever like, man, look how good this looks. It was probably like 6 months later, and we were like, look at it with this light. Look at it in this pose. So they hold up.
Yeah, that's another one.
So I think, like you said in the chat. So I heard you ask the question: what licensed piece or what character would you'd like to see a custom group do? Right?
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, a lot of them say Omega Red, right? Because I think XM's the only one that did
XM's the only licensed company that has made a Omega Red. I do think Sideshow's making one right now. But to
that point, when we did the competition and we even let the audience vote, everybody chose a custom over that XM one. Remember when we did which one of these?
The Omega Red,
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't agree. I've never agreed with the quality, and like Prime 1 quality. I get it. Prime 1 quality is amazing, but there are plenty of custom statues that can meet that Prime 1 quality, and people don't believe you. People, there's no way, and blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, that's crap. That's crap.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do have to say this though, and I think the reason why is because, and I got into it with you guys mentioned the name earlier, your favorite critic to like your favorite critic of statues. I'm not going to mention names, but anyway, I think I've seen some crappy custom statues too, right?
Yeah.
I've seen some that I think exceed Prime 1 Queen's like, this right here is there's the quality of this Omega Red is just by far one of the best ones. And you see that kind of quality, right? So it's out there. And then I've seen some other custom pieces, same great quality. You know the quality of Wolverine versus Omega Red. Biggie, the quality of the Wendigo. I mean, Steve was over here. He looked at it, he was like, damn, and this is amazing. I can't believe this is, custom piece. I'm like, yeah. But then again, I see some really cheesy ones. Right?
Yeah.
I've seen some where they look just like an old porcelain figure with the face looks plastic, doesn't look good, the paint's not that great, and you can kind of tell those off. And I told your favorite critic, I said, well, you shop at the dollar store, you get dollar quality. You go to Five Below, what happens when you listen to the earphones? They buzz a little bit, right?
Yeah. Matt, before I forget, and I'll, with you saying that, they also say that about the licensed pieces too. Just the other day said that Sideshow has done horrible female portraits for like the past 10 or 11. Said that the Batgirl was the only one with a good portrait. So
if I was to say, if there was a tier ranking of like quality statues, I would put the majority customs. Just like you said, Matt, there's a lot of that stuff that are crap. But like the really good companies are out there that have the really good reputations that are been around in the game for a while, I would put those companies above Sideshow.
Oh, no question.
I would put those companies above Sideshow, around the XM kind of quality. I would put them around XM, if not a step below them, then like right there at XM level.
I'd put them Prime 1. I don't see. I've seen Prime 1 pieces. I know Prime 1 pieces. I think they're good pieces, but I've seen custom pieces that are just as good, if not better.
When I show a piece that's amazing in the community and say, okay, this is a custom piece. For example, the Iron Man bust, right? Amazing piece, right? It looks just like RDJ. When I bring that up, that must have been Queen Studios that did that. That couldn't have been a custom group. Why not? The custom groups use the same factories as the licensed groups do. Why can't it be?
Yeah.
Why can't it be as good? People don't want to admit it, especially if they've bought a lot of Prime 1 statues, or they have a Prime 1 statue, they're like, oh, there's no way anything can match this, right? It's kind of like Pride when you get a statue in and you got those, eyes, and you're like, okay, this is the best statue ever that I've ever had. It's like you don't want to admit that other statue over there might be better,
right?
Oh, that's shit compared to what I have. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're 110% correct. It's just again, it depends. Like, you might have some groups. There might be a custom group who's, the factory they use, it doesn't, not the same. The quality's not that good, or the portrait on a piece. I've seen a couple of custom pieces come out, and I was like, the portrait looked cheesy, and I was like, that doesn't look good. You know what I mean? And it looks like a cheesy custom piece. And I think sometimes people will see that, which then gives them the
ammunition.
You know what I think? I think the difference though is because there's so many. I don't want to say so many, but there's quite a few groups, custom groups out there, and they all do their own thing, right? And you don't know what factory they're using or what sculptor they're using, or they're, what I'm saying? So you don't know that aspect of it a lot of times. Where I think with a licensed group, you kind of start to get a trend of their work. You know what I'm saying? Like, what to start expecting from a sideshow. What to expect from XM. You kind of know what you're going to get from PCS, right? You kind of know what you're going to get from Queen Studios, or what you're going to get from Prime 1. So there's a level of consistency, I guess, with the factories that they use. Whereas with custom groups, I think as a collector or a consumer, you don't know which fact, you don't know what the trend is. There's no stability trend, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're consistent with a group, right?
Yeah.
We know that there's certain groups that are on the upper end of quality.
That's why I have my fative custom groups.
Right?
People make fun of me. Oh, you have your favorite custom group, blah blah blah.
And that's the prime reason, right? Because you have an idea of consistency of the product that they're going to put out. So, and you've bought from them before, so hey, I've got 5 statues from this group, so I kind of see the same.
They're reputable.
I see the consistency in the quality of their production, and I think that's part of it. Whereas somebody who's getting into it, they see custom group here, custom group there, custom group here, there. They don't know which quality is going to be what. I think that's part of some of the issue that a lot of consumers have, or collectors.
I can tell a lot of times before even, like, if I look at a picture of a statue, I can tell a lot of times where that statue came from, just from the sculpt of the statue. Like, I can spot Franco's sculpt, so I can spot like certain groups out there. The sculptor they use, I can see the Russian sculptor. Yeah, I can see the Russian for sure a mile away too. But right now he's in a lot of different groups, so it's kind of hard to spot what group he's in. But I can spot his work at least. I can say, okay, I know that's Valhan. I know Franco's. Rafael Ibarra. I can spot his stuff. So I can do that. But I know a lot of people, like you said, Matt, people that are new to the hobby, they're like, there's so many customs out there. What group is this? Who's doing this? So they don't know if that crappy one is associated with that one that looks really good.
Exactly.
So
and just like anything else, bad news travels fast, right? So they're in their mind, they're automatically going to see the bad one and be like, okay, well, am I going to get the bad one? You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's just human nature. You know what I
mean? That's another reason why I don't necessarily share the STL files too, because half of them are shit and the other ones are really good.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
I don't want to confuse people even further by, hey, look at this statue, and they're like, oh, that's shit. Why would I go to a custom group if they're going to do that?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. I've seen STL files. I've seen some guys do one. I'm like, man, it was like crap. It's painted all funky. Then I seen the same exact STL file. I'm like, damn, who did that? Where'd you get that? I mean, you did that, So it's just, that's part of that too.
But I don't know, man. I just want, to show people that this side of collecting is almost as good as their side of licensed community. You know, like to me, it's even better because you know I see. We're talking about having a baby earlier, right? Like I can see the inception of the statue to when it's born in my arms and I'm holding it, you know, like a baby. You know, I appreciate that. I appreciate that I can get hold of the commissioner if I need to. I appreciate the smaller ESs. I know that's everybody's big thing now, right? It's like, oh, I do it for the art, you know. I don't do it for the ES or how much the statue's worth. Cool, bro. Cool. Like, I think people overextend themselves now, and they're like, you know, it's looked at bad if you don't collect statues for the art. Like, oh, this is a pretty statue. I'm never letting it go. You know, blah blah blah. That's great, bro. Like, I collect also because I like the statue too. Like, I enjoy the art as well. Like, but I want my statue to be special. I want my statue to be one of like 30. Like, I would rather do that. That's how I collect. And there's nothing wrong with the way you collect, but don't try to make me feel bad for not collecting a statue how you collect your statue. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kenzilla said the private part of customs make it difficult for people to get started in them. It took me 9 years. Before Jarhead, you couldn't get any information on how to buy from them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
you know, I think Ken, you know, I think social media has a lot to do with it too. It makes the connections there. But it's also, you know, I think when you go back a little bit, well, he said 9 years. Wow, that's a while. But also at the same time, they had reason for the exclusivity, right? You know, they didn't know who's who, what's what. There's a trust factor that goes both ways. Yeah. You know, I'm sure that a lot of times the commissioners themselves got burned on a few things. You know, that's the other part that we don't talk about. You know,
we talked about what happened with the Star Wars group earlier, Matt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. Prime example. Exactly. I mean, it's just, you know, it goes both ways, man. You know,
after that happened, it kind of closed doors again. Like,
yeah,
it was everything was out, and it kind of make everybody kind of hot, like not hide, but like kind of
security went back up because you know,
yeah. The after club party, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was, I don't know, but the Star Wars group did get a little loosey.
They had a whole web page up. But
yeah, you can't. They went a little far.
But they still kind of shook everyone else that's doing the same thing. Like, hey, we got to be
as well. It should. You know what I mean? And you know, the license companies had right to send you know, shoot. What's the word I want to use? Give a shot across the bow. Suppose you know what I mean? And they did that. Because the group did go a little far with the web page. It's a little, you know.
Yeah.
So that was a little much, and I think that was a license company, and license companies know that, you know, which is fine.
We've had licensed people
on the show,
associated on the show before.
Yeah,
you know, so they know they watch this show. You know, they've told me they watch this show.
It's you know, the bottom line is it still promotes their character. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's actually, you know, if you don't like that custom piece, they're going to put out something that you will like and you will buy it.
Remember, we talked about that whole spiral of every time we would get a custom piece that no licensed piece we're doing, boom, immediately the license company, like the Mace Windu, we were never going to get that. And then as soon as we got it from the Star Wars company, Star Wars dropped theirs. You know what I mean?
So I made fun of you know, them for doing that before. But, you know, now that I think about it, that's really a good thing.
I would. If I paid for the license, I would.
Well, they see all the clamor, right, in the group about it. Okay, this statue a lot of people are loving. Let's make one of the same character. If everybody's loving that, it gives them more options, right? Like, absolutely. I'm all about options in my collecting. Like, I love being able to, if I want a bishop, but choosing between 5 of them instead of just one. Like, if I know there's just one out there, I don't have a choice. But if I see 5 different ones, you know, one's gonna hit my fancy more than all the other ones, you know. And I'd rather have more competition. It helps with the design of statues, like pushing boundaries. It helps with the cost of statues. The more competition is out there, the lower the price of these statues go. Look at Sideshow. Since a lot of people have been dropping off, their prices have gone way up from what they used to be. They don't have any competition out there.
Yep.
Why are they concerning themselves with price when they don't have competition?
That's why I'm glad J&D dropped that quarter scale Superman, and I'm glad
it's
put them out there.
No matter what you think about J&D, because I mean their business practices aren't good either as far as the way they talk to their customers, right?
Competition
like,
is healthy.
Yeah, competition is always healthy. Like, I don't care what anybody says, that Superman statue is good for the hobby. It shows that you can do that kind of crazy job for less than $1,000.
Yep.
You know, you can make a statue that looks like amazing for less than $1,000.
Yep.
So it's good for the community, I think. I'm very excited for J&D to hop into the comic book stuff because for that reason, it's going to do nothing but drive the community and help, you know, either competition between Sideshow, because who else had the Marvel license in quarter scale? Nobody. It was only Sideshow.
Gave us like 2 pieces, like
every once in a blue moon, right?
Yeah.
XM had it, right? But where are they? You know, so there was no competition, huh?
Queen Studios had it.
Where are they right now?
Where are they? But I forget about Queen, to be honest. Like, did anybody even ever get that Silicone Hulk?
So really, and they were doing mostly movie stuff, right? They've kind of the last like statue they made that was a comic book piece was the Hulk. Was that Hulk on throne and the Spider-Man statue, right? There's like with Miles Morales and Spider-Gwen on it. That was like their last comic book statues they had. It was all like movie pieces. So you don't have anybody else out there doing comic book quarter scale statues that are Marvel pieces other than Sideshow.
So 2 things. Carl said J&D has not confirmed that they have the quarter scale Marvel. Well, I'm glad they got the quarter scale DC because Sideshow still needs that.
I thought they announced it on that.
I mean, what do you mean confirmed? Yeah. They announced it. Did they announce that they were getting it?
Yeah, they announced it in that newsletter they came out with.
Right, I saw it came across my.
And then the other thing, Grifter said the best Doom masks to me are still the Sideshow Doom on Throne and the RCB one. And I think my 2 custom Dooms, those are 2 of my favorite statues. That Doom on Bear, the mask on that one, but that Doom that I got from D3 where he's in Latveria kind of facing out.
Yeah, I regret giving that statue up. That's one of the statues that I regret selling because that to me is probably one of the best Dooms out there. Doom on Throne is great, but that's probably one of the best Doom statues out there.
That is my favorite statue in my entire collection. Is that Doom, where he's in that area, just kind of doing his Doom pose out to the crowd. Man, they will have to pry that from my cold dead hands.
Yeah, but you know that if you decide to sell it, because it's a custom, there's not that many of them out there, you can get money for that statue. It ain't gonna be like. Yeah, I guarantee that statue ain't gonna go for $500. I guarantee it. You can sell it for way more than that.
If I sell that statue, I want money. I want indentured servitude. I want the firstborn. I want.
Again, I understand where people come from that say I don't collect for, you know,
it's retaining
the financial. I understand that.
I don't.
But why? But why wouldn't you want? Why wouldn't you want your statue to either retain its value or go up in price? Why wouldn't you want that?
And customs definitely go up.
Collectible is, right?
Customs definitely go up.
Definition of a collectible.
I think I've always thought that way. But everybody wants a deal right now on a statue. They don't want to pay what the statue is worth. They don't want to pay $1,000 for a statue. They want to pay $200 for it. They want to pay $300 for it. So by them going up in price, people don't want to see that nowadays. They don't want to see statues going up in price. They want to see them going down so they can buy them on the aftermarket and say, I spent $300 on a 1/3 scale statue. That's what people want. But yeah.
Yeah.
What else about like getting into customs you think people should know?
They don't do reissues.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Kind of like piggybacking off of the 2 days of CMP show that he covered reissues.
Yeah, I missed that. I missed it.
Yeah, I don't agree with the reissue shit. Like I'm not a big fan of it. You're not gonna get that in the custom community though. Like I don't think I've ever seen a reissue. The only time I've ever seen it, people were super pissed off about it, and that was that RCB Magneto. What happened was they had a set number of Magneto statues, and it sold out fast. It was like an old Daniel Bell. It's like one of Daniel Bell's first statues, and it sold out super fast. And it was selling for like that statue probably was the highest at that time frame was the statue that went for the highest amount of money on the aftermarket. It was like $5,000, $6,000 at that time, and that group saw that, so they're like, you know what, we're gonna make we're gonna open up the ES and we're gonna sell more of them. So they opened up the ES and sold more, right? And that wasn't good enough for them. So what they did, we got all these AP, quote unquote AP statues, these prototypes and all this other stuff, and they sold a bunch of those on top of all that. Yeah. And people were pissed off about it, man.
Yeah, that's not cool. You don't do that. But the reissues is something that's gone on for a while. It's not nothing new. In fact, Piggy, right above your head, you've got Darkseid versus Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Which edition is that? There's
I
three.
don't even remember. I know there are three of them.
There's 3 editions to that. Yep. If you were to look at it, the first edition, Darkseid has a rock over his foot. Right? It's a little small rock on his left foot. If you see it, you've got the first edition. You'll see a little rock over his left foot. Okay, nope, you've got the second edition. So that's the second edition, right? Yep. The third edition, Superman had a different. Man, we got the plumber's crack, boy. I see it. The third edition, the paint was a little different. Hold on, let me show you. I'm right back.
Yeah, but
so Piggy showed his. See the rock?
Okay, I see it. Yep.
That's how you tell the difference of those different editions. This is a fantastic statue. This would be a good quarter scale statue too, if somebody were to redo it. It's an older piece too, right? What year is it?
That's what I was like. I don't even remember this thing. That's years and years old.
Yeah,
I think that's like 20 years old.
Yeah, a lot of the issues that people are having with the reissues right now, that's something you're never going to see in the custom community. And when it does happen, like the 1 or 2 times it happened, people threw a fit. So you're not going to see that.
So you got the same thing with this one.
That Killer Croc?
Yeah, I don't know if you can zoom in bigger or not.
Batman versus Killer Croc.
Yeah. Batman versus Killer Croc. Same thing. They did three editions with this as well. Sorry, I gotta put it back. Those are both dope statues or dope dioramas. But they did 3 editions with that as well. The first edition, I think Batman had the blue and gray, right? The second edition, he had the black and gray, and it was all one piece. The statue itself was actually 2 pieces, just 2 pieces, the base and then the diorama. And then on the third edition, Batman was still black and gray, but it was in 3 different pieces. They had it to where it was 3 different pieces. So there's a way to tell which edition it was on each time they redid it. But that was, that's an example of that too. Well, and of course, the first edition is always the one that has, the price is a little bit more. I think the ES is usually about the same, though. I can't remember what it was.
Ron Jeezy's asking, how good are they when a new piece is getting PO'd? You finally get it, but it has QC issues or a bad break that needs to be replaced. My cousin has DBZ, and it's not always easy getting a replacement. So I know with a lot of the anime statues, man, like they come broken a lot because they have those like crazy like effects and all that stuff, and I've heard horror stories of them having a lot of breaks, and they have clear resin, right? So it's hard to get them fixed because it's clear resin. But I do know some commissioners, a lot of the groups that I'm in, I had this break, or I did this. They've given me money back. They've offered. We were just talking about it backstage with my Goblin Queen. It had a lean to it, and he offered to repair it for me. So I sent it to someplace, a repair person, and he paid for it to get there and back to me, and paid for the repair. So a lot of the groups, man, they'll take care of you. So like I said, I'm not gonna send you to a group that wouldn't at least try to either give you some money back or whatever, depending on what it is. Obviously, if it's like, a little scratch or a little paint chip or something like that, that might be a little harder. But if it's a break or something like that, a lot of the groups will help you out with it. So
I think
just like license companies.
And I think the main thing is that you want to be in a group to where they're at least going to show the effort to try to do the right thing. You know what I mean? Or try to make you right, try to make you whole in some kind of way. And I think most of the ones, like you said, that are that's part of the reputable part of the nature of the group. You know what I mean?
Their reputation.
Yeah.
So Mr. Bobo says custom anime replacements are the worst. Most times they throw you $50 Australian.
That's true.
So, yeah,
they might not be the greatest. You got a point there. Sometimes though, I've seen a group make a few extra statues, not a whole lot, maybe like 2 or 3, maybe 5, just in case something were to happen, and then they'll come in later on. If they'll wait a period, nobody makes any claims for anything, then they'll just go ahead and sell those pieces.
Yeah, they there's a few groups out there that they make extras for that, just in case something breaks or whatever, they can replace whatever they need to. A good custom group will do that. The smaller groups, they've got to pay extra for that. So again, stick with the bigger groups that have been around for a while. And you'll know once you start buying from these groups, they've been around for a long time. They have a long list of statues that they produced. You can tell when a group has been around long enough. Stick with those groups. Don't venture off into like the dark corners of the custom community that's out there, because there are groups that you're like, where did this group come from? He's never produced anything. I don't even know who this guy is. Blah blah blah. Stick with the well-known people, the well-known groups, and you shouldn't have any problems. The issues come when you settle for a group that it's a character that you always wanted, but it's not a well-known group. Don't get me wrong, there are groups that do that too, but that's with everything. Like,
and just ask around the same way. Like if you're buying something from like a person on the group, and how it will be like, hey, I'm buying this piece from Matt Jarhead. Do you know him? You ever bought anything from Matt before? If it's a company that you're not familiar with, ask around. Ask the people in the group or the people on the panel. Hey, have you guys ever heard of this statue company? Anybody that got any pieces from them?
There's also something to be said as well. I've been a part of a couple of groups to where they were new starting off, right? But I actually knew some of the guys in the group. So And I was like, I want to help you guys get going. I want, I'm down with it. Just because but again, there are people that I kind of knew and knew of and that kind of thing. I knew that was their first project or whatever. So they hadn't done one, but the truth of the matter is I kind of knew who they were. So I would help, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't mind getting involved to help get the, it's just more of a support piece, you know what I mean? Support structure. So there's that aspect of it too. But like you said, if you don't know who they are, like you said, Piggy, just ask around, and some of the guys in it will, and which is true, which is what I did too. There was a group that I got into, didn't know. I asked 3 or 4 people, yo, who's this guy? What's it? Yeah, legit. I got this piece from him. I did this PO. These are my 3 pieces I got from them, that kind of thing. So
it's funny to me too, because a lot of the guys right now are talking about the licensed company Figurama.
Yep.
They've had their problems. That's a well-known licensed company that does like anime statues and stuff. And they've had their issues in the past. I for years now they've had issues. I've heard people complain about them doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But then you have like 50,000 different custom groups for that side of like collecting the anime stuff. There are so many custom groups that do anime. Like I hear about a new one like almost every other day. It's crazy. Like if I'm doing research, like if I'm going through like the web pages looking at some of these groups, like there's just thousands of them, of just random like groups out there. But there's well-known ones that do a really good job that most people buy from. I don't know a lot of people buy from those crappy no-name ones. They buy from for instance, Whitehole. Whitehole's a well-known one. So and it's funny to me because people that talk shit about custom groups too will buy from a lot of these like custom anime groups. So you see a lot of people in the groups talking shit, but they'll buy custom anime.
Yeah.
What difference does it make? Like this guy right here.
There's too much
custom anime guy right here.
I don't know how many times you could say customs in one sentence.
Custom.
It's our brother Custom Nerd Problems. What's up, Steve?
And I had a long day today. What's up?
What's up, buddy?
Too much, man. How you guys doing?
Not too bad. I don't know if you've heard what we've been talking about or you've been hearing, but kind of how people can go about jumping into the custom community if you see something that you like. You're relatively new to it, so you've kind of had to deal with it recently too, with like, you haven't bought your first full custom statue yet, but you've dipped your toe in with the little like little accessories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For your statues. One of these days you're gonna get a custom. You're gonna do it. But is there anything that you suggest, like since you're so new to it, is there anything that you suggest people like do when they are trying to find a statue, or any kind of advice that you can give them?
Yeah, on Tuesdays, there's this one channel. No, like what's what I say, always say the safe route. Like I think you and Matt and Piggy always say like those major companies, those custom major companies that are always safe, but also like ask, recommendation, and then like that dark side. Like I feel everyone's looking forward to that thing. Like the anticipation for that one's like really high.
That's a lot of people's first custom statue too. Like a lot of people jumped into that statue because it was like, it's just amazing looking, and that was a lot of people's first dip into the custom community, I think.
Yeah, and I know you make fun of me for the accessory kit, but those things came out legit. Like the unboxing, like the
make fun of you. When have I ever made fun of you?
I'm pissed that I didn't get in on them.
Yeah, see, and then like I got the pedestals coming too for the accessory kit, and people are like, "Where'd you get that?" And I'm like, on Tuesdays. No kidding. But no, man, I definitely, if you're not seeing what you like out there, especially with these reissues, like, you know, not a lot of people, let's say people are starting to get, you know, the talk of customs are starting it's going to spark interest, I think, this year.
I think that right now is probably the best time to collect customs, right? Because we're at a point in time where it's not as secret as it used to be, right? Mm-hmm. You have this channel, right, that helps people. You know, I try to help people get to that reputable group. You know, you have this channel, you have the time frame right now of licensed companies having issues. Like, I think it's a good time to, if you haven't collected a custom statue, I think it's a good time to. And there's a lot of groups out there that are really good right now. But you know, Norman says there are a few groups that have been reputable for years that are now in trouble. When does it make sense to bail at the first sign of trouble, or wait until the projects pile up beyond rescue?
I keep hearing about that. There's one, I don't know what company it is, but there's one that took off with a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So that here's my 2 cents.
That was XM.
So Norm,
yeah.
Here's my 2 cents. So Norm, when you how do you recognize? I guess that's the first thing, right? How do you recognize when the first sign of trouble is? Right? That's number one. And then two, when you start to bail, I think that puts the project in more jeopardy than it would be to come out of it, because I think most of the times, I guess what the recognition of the first sign of trouble is. One is the commissioner not communicating. Is like, you know, okay, nobody's heard from this dude. A lot of people in the group are reaching out, but they can't hear. That's one thing, right? Then that's a high percentage that they're running off with your money. Versus, yo, we can't get the project going because we're not getting payments from some of the other people in the group. That happens too. So where then now you bail, they bail. Now everybody, now the project's going to start to. It's a snowball effect, right? Because other people aren't holding up to their end, and that's part of the problem that commissioners face too, right? That's the other side of it. Like, hey, listen, we got to do this project, but we need you guys to make payments, and some guys are bailing because they can't make the payment. Then they hear somebody else bailed. Now that I'm a bail because they bailed, and you know what I mean. So that's how things can get out of hand. But I guess be specific on what's the first sign of trouble, I guess.
I mean, that could be said for either licensed or custom, right? Like,
absolutely,
there's been signs of licensed companies having issues, and you know, for years and years and years, then all of a sudden it's a big issue. You know, same thing with custom groups. I think sometimes you get like I've been in a group recently that like you get a feeling that something's not right. Like, you know, they say they're going to do something and they don't do it. And then they say they're going to do it again and they don't do it. And they keep doing that over and over and over again, right? That's creating a pattern to me where I'm not going to trust you if you're going to say you're going to do something and then you don't do it. You know, and then you're doing stuff on the side, but you're not addressing that particular project. You're posting pictures of stuff. You're posting another project. But you're not showing that previous project that you said that you're going to do A, B, and C at this time frame. So to me, that's like, why is that happening? You know, what's going on there? You know, so that's something that. No, I'm talking about a custom group. So I mean, that could be Tweeterhead. You know, so it's crazy out here, man. Whether you're licensed or custom, why not take a chance if you're gonna have the same issues with license?
I keep hearing like from the custom groups, the one I don't know what the group is, but like when the communication is consistent and when they stop all of a sudden like responding or updating, and then like when others are going like, hey, I'm reaching out to this guy and he's not updating, like that's when to be careful or when to like keep an eye out.
Just like when you're just like when you're dating a girl, right? Like, you know, you're talking, you know, saying hi first thing in the morning, saying goodnight, you know, blah blah blah, and then that stops. You're like, yeah, what's going on? Why is she not responding between this time and this time? Or why is she not responding on Friday night, you know, at 11 o'clock at night? What is she doing?
She's busy.
Know? Yeah, exactly. She's busy doing something else.
She's in the blue room.
What do you think? Let's look at
who's blue room, Piggy. She better not be in your blue room.
She found a new statue, Sugar Daddy. What do you think about, like, for example, let's you may have talked about this before, I may have missed it, but what about PCS with the Underworld line, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, they said they were going to come out with 4, right? They were going to do Marcus, they were going to do Celine, they were going to do William, and I think they were going to do a Lycan, right?
Yeah.
So you start salivating for all of those, you know. Definitely, I remember somebody was saying they wanted to see what the Celine was going to be like, right?
Yeah.
They didn't even have approval for Celine, I don't think. That's what the buzz is, right? They couldn't get the approval of the licensure.
They couldn't get a hold of her.
But so how are you going to jump out there?
Wow.
And say you got the
say you're going to do all 4 of these, but yet you don't have the approval or the licensure from her, but you've already now produced and sold one of them.
I don't know about that part.
A lot of the license companies are guilty about that right now. Is they'll say, okay, PCS, okay, they said they were going to do that whole line, right? And we're going to do Celine, blah, blah, blah. Why are you going to say you're going to do something and that you're going to do this whole line and you haven't gotten in touch with the actress, knowing you got to get that cleared? But everybody's expecting you to do it because you said so, you know?
And then you keep putting updates going like, oh man, look at this concept. Oh man, like you guys like
dirty, man. I didn't know about that part of
it. And keep going like
I wonder why your company has a bad name, you know, like for stuff like that. And again, what we were talking about yesterday when Pudgy brought that up. Oh, you expect these companies to stick by their name or stick by their promise? Yes, I do. I expect when a company says something, they should do it. It shouldn't be a sales tactic. It's called ethics. You know, when you say you do something, I learned that as a little kid. I don't know if y'all did, but as a little kid, my parents told me, if I say I'm going to do something, you do it. If you make a promise to do something, you do it. You know, and I hold these companies to the same example.
You get the spanking later.
Yeah. If CMP says he was going to be here at a certain time, he needs to do it. And if he's not, then he gets reprimanded backstage.
You got to be paddled.
So I'll get the belt. I'll get the belt.
But you gotta admit, it was worse before with custom companies. Where now it's like a little bit more, not streamlined, but a little bit more, they're more cautious too, right? Like the guys that are putting stuff out there, they know if they F up, they're gonna F up with a lot of people.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean?
So like, you know, the statue companies before, back in the day, I heard more issues with them. Like commissioners would run off with a lot of people's money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now I feel like it's just been like less of that.
You think because you don't hear the reputation, or they'll get a bad rep, and
the groups that are here now in the custom community, you know, I'm not going to promise that they're not going to run with your money, you know, because people probably could have said the same thing about the license stuff, but these guys are a good group of guys. They're not going to run off with your money. So yeah, that hasn't happened in a long time. I haven't heard anybody, not in a big group, not in a super big, like one of the bigger groups. I haven't heard one of these big groups do that in a long time. I think the last group I heard that did that, like that was a really big group, was RCB.
Was XM?
I thought I could swear there was one major company.
There was a group not too long ago I think the guy's name, I don't care, I'll say his name, is Adam Dew or something like that. He kind of, we're actually going to show one of his statues later, but I'll get into that when we get into it. So that guy had a bunch of stuff out there, but I'm not sure if he ran away people's money or he just stopped, and people couldn't get a hold of him. I don't know if he had people's money or whatever, but the group's not around anymore. But he just because he disappeared. I don't know if he took people's money with him or not. I hadn't heard anything about that, but I know like there was stuff that was supposed to be produced. He just didn't do it. I don't know if he took people's money or not.
Oh, I know who it is. The guys that did the Flash, the 1/3 Flash.
That's not a big group.
That's not a big group. Oh, okay.
No, that was never a big group. That's one of the smaller groups. You know which ones I'm talking about. The bigger groups. I'm not gonna say their names, but there's those groups out there that I always constantly buy from. If I buy from these groups, I'm not gonna stick you in the group that is, that I wouldn't buy from myself. So.
Sir.
But anything else? Anybody else want to talk about any custom stuff that you think people should know?
Oh, and if you miss out, you miss out sometimes. Like
yeah,
you're gonna have to pay that aftermarket thing, of course. But sometimes, like just a heads up too, when the release date gets closer, a lot of people will back out. So just keep an eye out for that too.
That is a difference between licensed and custom stuff. Is when customs come out, they sell out fast. Because there's a smaller ES, and there's a lot of hype and praise and all the stuff that goes into it. So they sell out faster than the licensed stuff, right? So a lot of times, if the group is making something, it's not gonna be have an open pre-order all the way till it ships, like licensed stuff, right? Like you can always say, "Oh, I'm not gonna pre-order that till right before it ships." 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna do that with a custom group. But at the same time, there's always people that will back out, just like CMP says. Every group has them. They'll sell their stuff at the last minute or whatever, so you can get lucky that way. So. But it ain't like the licensed group. The stuff will sell out. So there is a lot more pressure to buy the statue right then and there, or you're gonna miss out on it. So
that's why I mentioned earlier. Customs are great for people that are really big on the ES size, or their pieces going up in money. Because if you get in on it, if they say 1 of 30, it's 1 of 30. That's it. It's not coming back around.
I will say, like, I've never had any issues selling any of my statues. Like my statues, when I buy them, if I decide to sell them or get rid of them, they don't sit around for the most part. There's maybe like 1 or 2, but
Walton just made a good point. He said there are people who go in and they ghost the commissioner, and that happens a lot. And that's how you can kind of sometimes get in on them. But I'm glad that he mentioned that, because some people are like, the commissioner's going to run off. The commissioners are going to run off. And I see more instances of the commissioner saying, where's the person? Where's the person that made this PO?
Yeah.
So
yeah, because in order to make the statue, they have to meet that cost, right? And when you promise to say I'm in on that statue, you're giving your word, basically saying, hey, I'm going to buy the statue. I'm all in. And you can make the statue, and don't worry, I will pay every payment. That's another thing too. Like when you say you're in on a statue, you got to back up that word. You got to, you're basically saying that you're promising that you're going to pay for that statue, because the commissioner is either paying for that statue or using, because sometimes they don't make money off these statues. Sometimes they break even or whatever. So it ends up being pretty rough for them if not everybody's paying for the statues. Like I said, they're not a big company or whatever. So I know a couple guys that that said they were in on a statue and they backed out, and they got kicked out of the group.
You know how we talked earlier about that mom and pop aspect and how we like the personalization of it. So this kind of touches on that, because first off, if you can't make a payment, just communicate. Just say, hey, this and that happened. I'm going to be late. And this goes to the mom and pop aspect. Most of them will work with you. They'll be like, all right, set your date for this day, or, give me half now, half that. Just saying, like, they'll work with you, but just communicate.
I've never had any groups give me problems by saying, hey, I can't make that payment right now. Can I wait 2 more weeks and I'll give it to you right then? Because unfortunately, when you're in the custom community, you end up doing a lot of pre-orders, and you have all of them come at once for some reason. So a lot of times the commissioner will work with you and say, okay, well, if you can't pay it now, when can you pay it, or whatever? Just give them a heads up. Don't be scared to tell the commissioner, hey, I can't pay that payment right now. Can I pay it in a week or 2? He would rather you do that than ghost him.
Or she.
He would, or she. So
tell him casual.
definitely don't ghost the commissioner if you can.
And Jarhead gets 20%, 25%.
No, I wish.
He's got 3 free statues just from all the upsells. You got to punch your card at the sandwich shop.
We'll see if I can get any of you tonight.
I PO'd that Falcon.
Did you?
I did.
Yeah.
Jarhead's like,
it's pretty good.
Classic. It's classic. It's a classic piece.
Jarhead's like, that's the final step.
Got him.
Free statue.
Got him.
That's the one thing I don't like about customs is reboxing them.
There's no directions or anything.
Giant just straps me in the front seat.
I don't rebox my. If I'm moving, if I'm moving close, I just put them in my car, bro.
I thought a seatbelt on.
I was cracking up when you did that. I was like, this dude's. Usually there's no instructions, so it's kind of, I do what I can by taking pictures. When I open it up, I take a picture of it. God knows what phone it's on, because I've changed phones like 5 times now, right? But yeah, I was just sitting here, I was looking at some pieces. I was just like, man, if I had to box that thing up, man, I don't think I remember how I took it to put it together. You know what I mean? Because I just haven't sitting there 5 or 6 years without being touched.
Ryan in Korean says, he says he'll tell the commissioner, I'll ask Jarhead for a custom loan.
Gabriel Gutierrez says they make money. They do. The custom groups do make money. I mean, they can.
Some do. Some break even.
Yeah, and some actually lose money. So
depending on the character. Say the commissioner really wants a character made, and it's a low ES, but he wants it for himself.
Right.
He's probably gonna take a hit.
Yeah, but it's also they don't make a ton of money like the licensed stuff does. They're not really into it for the major profit of it. Yeah, they should make some money off of it. If you were doing it, you'd want to make some money for your time and investment and everything else that you put in. Goes into it. Especially
right now when people ghost. Like when people ghost, you're not going to make the profit margin shrinks, right? Like if somebody's going to ghost and not pay for their statue, there's less money that you're going to make, right? So.
Jarhead, you asked earlier, is there a character that you want made? I want them to do a take on Voltron. I want a quarter scale Monica Rambeau, a quarter scale Brother Voodoo. I would pay whatever for a quarter scale Brother Voodoo. And custom route is the only way I'm gonna get any of those statues anytime soon. And then as soon as a custom company does it, the license, like Sideshow, is going to drop like 3 different versions of it.
Yeah, there's so many X-Men that I would love them to make. So I mean, I can make a long list of that. So, what about you guys? There's a statue that you would love to see a custom group make. Maybe a dope ass Green Lantern, Steve.
There's a license out there that has my name on it. So.
They'll reissue it. Don't worry.
I know. That's exactly what
you'll be able to get that in core scale pretty soon.
Yep.
We're gonna get Steve his first big
He's gonna get something. One
I got a question, Steve. I've got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, your first custom piece, which is gonna happen. Jarhead and I are gonna make it happen. Is it going to be 1/3 or quarter scale?
I think quarter scale because they're more reputable. I think with quarter scale, the third scale stuff, there's not too much of it, and I'm scared to go on because the one that you have behind you, that Omega Red. If you want to let that go, he's a villain. And, he'll go pretty good with my favorite. So I was.
As soon as I find a black one, then again, I might keep it still. I don't mind duplicate.
You know how long he had to look for that statue?
I'm right behind him. No, just quarter scale, Matt, because I think most of what you have is quarter scale, and I luckily got to come over your place and got to see them in person. Like the quality's there. It's the 1/3 is a lot. And
and there aren't that many third scale customs anyway, but there's a few. I mean, they do ask when they make them. They're out there.
Yeah, and when they do put them out there, sometimes they put them quarter and third scale. From the get go.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
They're telling me it's a brother Voodoo.
Enzo saying
Salute from the hospital trenches. Does that mean he's working or he's in the
hospital? He's at work. That's what he does. That's what he does.
At work. That's what I thought.
He says some degree of risk will always be there. Licensed, recent Prime 1 news, or custom. Do your homework, pay goods and service, and let's hope for the best.
What's the new Prime 1 news? I didn't.
Oh man,
I've been living
come
life.
on, man.
I'm out of touch. Give me the quick. Give me the Cliff Note version.
I'm about to send Matt the article.
I'm not reading it.
Oh.
Give me the Cliff Note. Give me the TikTok flicker synopsis.
They resized, reissued the Bermejo Joker. Remember the Bermejo?
Okay.
So it's now quarter scale, and now some collectors are worried. Well, they know it's coming with other lines, so they're like, it's reissues. There's no, originality anymore.
I remember that. Matter of fact, I think Steve, I made a comment on CNP about
that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
People read it, man. People went off it too. So
don't you worry about it. You'll get a little squirrel in no time. CNP, even smaller.
It's gonna be Rocky from Bullwinkle.
It'll be funny if they do it in core scale and they don't have squirrel.
That is.
Oh,
I know. Yeah.
Steve might not. He might.
Rocky and Bullwinkle. I love Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah, that's the squirrel you're gonna get. Moose and squirrel.
Jose says, "Brother Voodoo," you say?
Yeah, I'm like, who's doing a quarter scale, Brother Voodoo?
You might want to reach out to him because
Gabe just said check with Jarhead.
You just said reach out to him.
Let's see here. Random Korean says Tekken Customs.
Oh, video games.
Yeah. Let's see here. Ron Jeezy says, "That's crazy to me. You guys mentioned this a few times about people ghosting. These are known collectors or some rando scalper hoping the piece makes the headline so he can get 3-4 times the price on eBay." I don't know what it is, but there's always people in the groups that end up disappearing. They'll spend the money on the pre-order and then ghost the commissioner. He'll say, "Okay, well, I need the second and third payment or the final payment," and they won't say anything. It happens all the time. So they'll end up paying all that money just to ghost the commissioner. So, I don't know. I don't know why people do that. I
mean, you give the benefit of the doubt, right? At least I do.
Yeah.
They can't finish the payment, and then they look at it like, okay, I've dropped $600 on this piece. I still have another $600 plus shipping, so that's be $900. I'm gonna take my losses at $600.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crappy.
I get it, but people instead of saying, "Hey man, I got to back out of out of the statue, or maybe make a different plan to pay it off or whatever, they just ghost. And that's what people do these days, right? Even like with women, relationships, everything. It's like if I don't like something, I'm just not gonna say anything and just disappear. Yeah. It's ridiculous, man.
I got stood up last week. You said in the restaurant waiting.
Pisses me off. Like, what? If you're not gonna, if you're not interested, then say you're not interested. Say, hey, people don't do that these days. This dating game sucks these days, man. Like, people just
they don't know how to
stop
talking.
Girl,
for real, they don't know how to communicate.
Why you send me all these messages? I thought we was gonna now all of a sudden.
Yeah.
A lot of
don't get my hopes up and then disappear on me.
That's how you end up in them Lifetime movies, man.
Oh, I literally just got my it says your shipment is on the way from Sideshow Collectibles.
I got 2 coming from them.
Venom.
Ron Jeezy had a follow-up. He said, but aren't they in the group?
Yes, they will probably get kicked out of the group if they do that.
Yeah, they can. If they have a wait list, they can offer it to somebody, and they do.
I did that. So I sold my pre-order that I had for Magneto on Throne. Sometimes the commissioner will have extra ones, so they'll come out and say, okay, I have 3 or 4 more of these statues. Sometimes you get a better deal on them because some people ghosted, and they'll say, okay, I'm gonna make a sale for the statue now. It's $300 cheaper. Yeah, sometimes that happens. So,
yeah.
That's good news. I didn't know you sold it.
Or what they can also do is if their communication is good, which it should be, they'll go to the commission and say, listen, man, I got to sell my PO. Can you help me sell my PO or put it out there? And then they'll put out a post on some of the couple of groups, right? And they'll say, I'm giving up my statue for $100 less than what it actually is. I've got the blessing of the commissioner. We're just going to make sure everything's legit, and they make the swap that way. That happens a lot too.
Jonas is asking, if people ghost the commissioner, do they get blocked from the future orders? Yes. If you ghost the commissioner, 9 times out of 10 he's going to kick you out of the group. I know a couple YouTubers that did that, and they're not in the group anymore. I'm not gonna name any names. But and
it was funny because they were actually let back in and did it again.
Yeah, I'm not gonna name any names, but they've been talking shit about customs, and then now they're on the side of customs. So, but I'm not gonna name any names.
Do you think it's a good idea to let the YouTubers in? Because I feel like, yeah, I agree.
Except
like,
me.
You don't have 1,000 subscribers yet, so you can't talk.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
No, you're almost there.
You missed the topic earlier. I'm not trying to get a bunch of subscribers. I just want to help people out. Like, if I wanted a bunch of subscribers, do you think I would have started with customs?
You know what company I really do miss, and their stuff is NYC. Like, they are great, man. Yeah. Their ships, their weird characters. It got me more intrigued with like Star Wars, because I was like, these are one-off characters I never heard about, but they're doing them, and a lot of people like them. But their ships, man, like the quality. I had one ship from them. No, it was quality. That's a group I miss. But then someone ratted them out,
They got too big for their britches.
They had a whole web page.
Yeah, well, there's a rat out there.
They had a subscription system.
El Rate.
El Rate, yeah.
Master Splinter.
But yeah, so I just wanted to give people some advice, especially the newer collectors that I've had a lot of new collectors hit me up lately about where to get statues and stuff. So that's kind of where this idea came from. We've talked about it, a lot, but again, I just wanted to put it in this format so people can kind of see what to expect when they're buying custom statue, who they can talk to. I'm going to open the group up for people so that way more people can join.
You shouldn't do that.
You don't think so?
No,
I don't know.
I don't know.
A lot of people can't find. A lot of people can't find the group. So, if it's a random people,
because it's private right now, right? It's like set up.
Yeah,
as
it's private.
Invite only, I think.
Yeah.
What group? What are you talking about? Custom produced? Or?
My group. Yeah.
This group or
yeah, this group. It's private. It's only. You can't just join it. It's set up that way because when all that issue was going on with the Star Wars company, and then like a year or two after that, when I don't know if y'all remember, but there was a group making they were making upgrades.
They were making accessories to go along with
with the Batgirl. Yeah.
Oh yeah. See,
there was a big issue that happened at that time frame.
That's what the red flag. I think that's what started it off. I think that's
what kicked that YouTuber out of all of the custom groups because there was some issue there. Yeah. So, but I'm not gonna go into detail about it. But that's kind of why we made the group private at that time and everything. I get what you're saying, CMP, like being cautious, but I just like want to help people out, kind of direct them towards, customs, because there's a lot of people asking about the group, and I always can't keep track of, people, because there are people in the chat asking how did I get in the group, and I say, hey, PM me, but they're probably not friends with me on Facebook or anything. So, maybe I'll just open it for a little bit and then close it again. I don't know. We'll see. But again, if you are looking for a statue, hit one of us up and we can direct you to one of the groups. So if you don't have me under your Facebook, I'm sure you can find me pretty easily under some of the groups. I'm always posting on in CMP's group and all the other groups, so you can find me if you want to.
It goes by Roberto, so just a heads up.
I've got a blue check on Instagram on Twitter, so if you need to get a hold of me, I go by Big Game over there, and it's a blue check.
Verified.
Verified. All right, well let's get in the pictures.
Dude, I'll be washing dishes. The music that we play in the background on the shows and stuff like that. If it's quiet in the kitchen, this will start playing in my head.
The background?
Yeah, subliminal.
So this just popped up, I think yesterday or the day before. They finished their prototype paint on this. I think this turned out really, really good. If you don't know who this character is, it's Corsair, Cyclops' daddy. Who's your daddy? Roberto. Yeah. Yeah, Corsair. I think this came out really, really good. Again, like we were talking about earlier, from start to finish, you see the process of these statues getting made. So long time ago, we saw when this went up for pre-order, we saw when it was printed, and now we're seeing the custom paint on this of the prototype. So that's the good thing about these custom groups, man, is you see everything along the way.
I was gonna post this yesterday.
I thought that was a forged variant. I mean, I'm
no, it's Corsair.
Yeah, I'm out of. I stopped reading.
Cylon's asking, but are they doing a kit in this? This group does mostly kits, but lately they've been doing just painted prototypes and kits. So I'm not sure if this one is painted as well, but I guess they just did a prototype paint for it just in case. I thought this one had the option to get it painted too. So I have this one on pre-order, so I think this one comes as painted as well.
Oh, you got this one? That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm answering said I was 15's question about it. Am I the one that takes pictures of any custom packaging? No, I just said that a little while ago, man. I do the same thing. I take pictures when I get it in, so I know how to rebox it or whatever.
Yeah, this is great.
Cylon's asking, is it a thing for custom groups to create bases for already existing statues? I've seen it done.
We'll buy it.
They don't do it that often, but every once in a while, they do mostly accessories like head sculpts or like switch out arms and stuff like that. So,
Ant keeps changing his name. I will buy. I thought it was Buttman. I will buy, but it's buy it, man. I was like, what? I got it. Thanks, Ant.
Yeah, I think this came out really, really well. I saw him painting this on his live too. He was doing like a live for it.
Oh, is this Jason?
I forget this guy's name.
It came out really.
It came out really, really good.
Yeah, really nice. I think it's his. I don't know the character, but I'm looking at his portrait. It's a little pale.
He's the leader of the star. He's the leader of Starjammers. He's Cyclops' dad.
Cable's pop.
Yeah, so, Cable's grandfather.
The only criticism I'd give this piece, and I haven't seen this, but I don't know, but
Gabriel.
And this is where you can also say with some groups, like, look at the gun. I would like to see the gun have a little bit more detail to it. You know what I mean? Maybe.
There's a lot of detail in the gun.
Oh, there is actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Maybe different colors of paint, but I don't know what his gun looks like. Maybe his handle could be brown versus gold, or see. I would look at this as like the paint. I think they just got a little. They're getting towards the end of the project and want to finish it up real quick. And
I think that's pretty accurate to his.
Unless that, and I was going to say, unless it's accurate to his gun and.
Well, the thing of it is, it's when they showed it for pre-order, this is how they showed it. It was all gold. So you know, if they deviate from that, I don't know, but like I think if they show it a certain way, I think they should do it that way. You know.
But that's another instance where when you're in the custom world, like initially when all these ideas get brought up, people are sharing their opinions and stuff. So
true.
You know, if you want your
a lot of times you have more say in the statue.
True.
Yeah.
I like this texture right here on the arm and everything on the suit.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Look, even his glove. Look at his glove. Looks like real leather.
Yeah. Yeah, it came out good. I'm looking forward to this statue. Here's another statue from the same group. Again, this is the printed statue. So, you know, it went up for pre-order. Now they're showing the print. And then it'll get painted and then it'll ship out. So that's another great thing about these companies or these groups. They show you the whole process along the way. Sideshow started kind of doing that, but they've kind of gone away from it again.
Yeah, with their MODOK, and they did it with some other pieces.
Yeah,
but yeah, they stopped. They stopped completely.
This is cool. Age of Apocalypse Cyclops. I know this is Walton Chunky's favorite story is Age of Apocalypse. He loves the costumes, he said. That's dope.
Yeah. What's his character's name
Cyclops?
again? This is Cyclops?
Cyclops? Yeah.
So
yeah, Age of Apocalypse.
I was gonna say that's more of his emo hairstyle, but I didn't want you to start with CMP.
What'd you say? What'd you say? Emo?
Because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. Don't make me change my mind.
The cat's the best.
I told you I'm addicted to those cat kung fu clips on Instagram.
I saw this. What is this?
This is Batman villains. Ventriloquist.
Ventriloquist. Yeah.
Yes. And Scarface. I think that's the name of the character. The little
the dummy.
Yeah,
the dummy. So it's a Batman character.
Yeah, you're right. It is. I had to think. You're right. It is. I remember now. Yep. Okay.
So again, you'll never see this character made by a licensed company, probably. So
I forgot about this character completely.
Yeah, Prime One had like this was an exclusive for one of the Prime One pieces, but it wasn't
the Scarface. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this came out great.
Look at like how his face right here, like he's not controlling him.
Thanks, Piggy.
This was a great character. Oh, no problem. This was a great character.
Yeah, it was also in the animated series too.
That's
Yeah.
where I know him from.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I remember from the animated series.
Couple switch outs.
That's a cool piece.
You're never going to get this character from a licensed company. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want this character, it's going to be custom.
I know the Batman guys, BSE was complaining that he always wanted one of these done, and there you go.
Here it is.
Oh, but he doesn't do customs though, right?
Okay.
It won't be on camera.
Yeah, not on camera he does it, right? But anyway, no.
Yeah.
Sorry, he's good.
Some of the different options that you could do.
Is the PO live for this one? Rose says he's interested in this one.
Yeah, I think it came up.
Roll up at $50 for the link. Just let
Cylon's asking for kit concepts. How expensive is it to have someone else to paint it? Would that really
Depends.
Would it be really expensive?
It can be. Depends on the painter. Like some painters pay, you end up paying more. The beast that I have is probably going to end up being $3,000 on top of the statue. I already paid $3,000. So depends on how detailed it is. There's a lot to do with it.
Can I borrow $20?
If it's if it's a smaller piece, it's not going to cost as much. So it just depends. And then like I said, some painters are cheaper than others. So,
and with that said, you can also get what you pay for, right?
Yeah, you could end up paying a lot for a statue easily doing that way. So some people, they love doing that way, but it is what it is. But if you spend if you go to an expensive guy, it adds up real fast.
Like, for example, what would you say? Like the samurai Wolverine with the tattoos on his back and the tree with the flowers. You know what I mean? That's I mean, it's like he said, there's a lot of minute detail in it, and it's a hard piece to paint. So it all depends, Or you take that versus Hulk. You know what I mean? Or a Silver Surfer. It's a little different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to take that into account.
Yeah.
Account.
Here's a Galacticus, as I like to call him, head.
I call it a two-hander. That's what I call it.
Also known as a two-hander. And also known, if CP doesn't get the statue, his collection is incomplete.
Yeah, are you gonna get a stand for this to put around the portraits around the King Thanos?
I have a good comeback for this one. I'm gonna wait for the rescale.
Iron Studios.
Except we just talked about customs don't do that, so whatever.
Dang, that's an accessory.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not painted yet.
It's this whole upper torso.
Man,
that's good too. This group does really good work. So
I'm just gonna use my popcorn bucket until I can afford to get this or find a space for it. I got that big popcorn bucket when the Fantastic Four movie came out.
I still haven't seen that movie.
So speaking of the groups that somebody was saying earlier, a lot of the statues now have come out before, and commissioners picked it back up later. This is one of those statues. Adam Dew, that's the guy I was talking about earlier. He had a group and he was doing this statue and some other statues, and another commissioner ended up picking this up. So it's coming back up for pre-order again. Rafael Alvaro sculpted this. Dope ass sculpt on this, man. It's got so much detail. I showed it a while back, but it's coming up for pre-order right now. So if you're interested in it, hit me up. I think he said he needs 20 people to make this. So
it doesn't look CMP, but like, do you know? Honest question. You said it was made a while back. Has there been adjustments to this one, or is this the final?
No.
Okay.
It's the same. This is what you see is what you get. It's already this is the print. The factory already had this. They just never got the go ahead to make it. So it's been sitting at the factory basically. There's this one and another one with Old Man Logan on horse, which I absolutely love that statue. So hopefully that one gets made. And this one, I think I'm gonna pick this up too because the sculpt on this is amazing.
You have too many Wolverines. Just heads up.
Shut up. Shut up.
Look
at that hair, dude.
Print. Yeah, the print looks great.
Yeah, it's printed. All the detail.
Yeah. Do you know the price on it by chance? This looks really good.
I don't know yet. He's getting interest of it right now. So there's probably been about 10 or 15 people say that they're interested in it. So we just need a couple more people. Like, with anything, the more people you have, the cheaper it gets. So at the 20, it's going to be the most expensive it's going to be. But at anything more than that, it's going to get cheaper. But I don't think it's going to be that expensive. Probably, $1,000, between 1,000 or 12.
Got you.
Are you getting this dry head? Seriously? Are you contemplating it?
Yes, I already told him I'm in if he makes it. So I was trying to get it beforehand when it was in the other group. So same thing with the Old Man Logan on horse. So I've got another Soldier Wolverine coming too from Franco, but his is World War II. This is Vietnam.
That's with the helmet, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna kind of agree with Walton a little bit. I like the thing and everything, but somehow the portraits. It's Logan. It looks good. I like it, but somehow there's something about it that's making me not see Logan. I don't know what it is.
It looks like the actor. It looks like the actor.
No, I'm not looking for Hugh Jackman. I'm still looking for the comic version of Wolverine 2.
It needs to be more rugged, right? I think. Or more.
I don't know if it's the eyes or something's just. I don't know. I can't tell what it is. Maybe the eyes and the forehead.
He's too Rico Suave. That's why.
Wow.
With the hair.
Rico.
I don't know what it is. Jawline, maybe. I don't know.
I love this thing.
It looks good.
It looks dope to me.
Yeah.
No. I I'm not. Yeah, I think the sculpt looks. I think the body it looks fantastic. I like the physique.
The wrinkles on the.
Yeah, he did a really good. He did a really good job with it in the veins and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Looks good.
There you go. His AK.
That's dope.
That looks a little bit like Hugh Jackman.
That's dope.
I don't care for the sunglasses too much, but
I kind of like the sunglasses a little better.
Huh?
This is
What you
different.
mean sunglasses?
Shades.
these are real boots. Like, because I was in the military, I used to have these boots.
These are Nike Air Forces.
No, we used to call them jungle boots. Like this part was black, and then this part right here is green.
Yeah, this looks great, man. Hopefully this gets
Yeah,
Like,
it looks very realistic. It looks less comic booky, I think.
mhm.
Yeah, and that's how I like statues.
Another switch out for it.
Ferenti says it looks like Reissues Tim's.
I like to see his right arm just facing down with the backhand out instead of the palm up. But it's not how it's sculpted.
That's an M4 zero gun, right? Jarhead?
A what? A what now?
M40.
Yeah,
No?
yeah, it's an M4 zero gun. Yeah, yeah. It's a M40 laser gun. Yeah,
Laser gun from Lord of the Rings.
yeah, Lord of the Rings. I think so. You know that the movie Full Metal Jacket. Y'all seen that?
I haven't seen it yet, but I know of it. Yeah.
On the main character's helmet, it says "Born to Kill." I think I'm gonna put that on his helmet too.
Oh, that'll be dope.
Steve, D'Onofrio's in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that might be his first movie actually.
Is that where they beat him with like a bunch of pillows and?
Yeah,
Yes, it was actually soap wrapped in socks.
Yeah.
that was like
stuff like that actually happened. So
I remember they did that in it's one of Sean Penn's movies. It's called Bad Boys, where he went to like a youth detention center, and they put what they put in? They put something in the socks too. I think it was a soda can or something like that, or cue balls or something. I can't remember what it was. They beat the kid with it.
You got Absolute Batman. There's actually 2 of these being made right now at the same time. So this is another Rafael Alvaro sculpt. So
he's a good sculptor.
That Absolute Batman is so good. Like that, the comic is so good. It was making me want to actually get an Absolute Batman statue if I had a spot for it.
Oh, the Wonder Woman's more interesting, I think. But the Batman is good. The Batman
Yeah,
is really, really good.
Really good.
And watch, you said there's 2 of them being made right now
yeah,
from custom groups.
yeah.
What you're thinking, Matt? There's already a license one.
There's already a license being in the works right now. You know
Yes.
exactly.
Yes, they're doing it. Yep.
Yeah,
Well, you know, Prime One's gonna make one. You know,
Yeah.
Prime One's gonna make one.
Batman, they sell everything.
Yeah, the Batman. What? Let's sell that.
I don't know. Would they? Yeah, I guess they would. I mean, Grim Knight is freaking awesome by Prime One.
Have you read this yet, Matt?
No,
It's so good, man.
It's really good right now. Yeah,
is it?
from beginning to right now, it's really good.
I listened to it on comics. What's that guy's name?
Explained.
Explained. Yeah, Comics Explained. Like he has a whole series. If you don't want to read it, you can listen to what's going on in the comic.
Oh, okay.
I have him on in the background when I'm cleaning up, like all the time.
Yeah.
Get caught up on everything.
Yeah, I don't buy the book
This-
unless I hear it through him.
This is like I said, this is a newer one that just came out.
check the private chat, man.
LBS, yeah. Yeah, it'll be I'm sure several companies. It's so popular that somebody's gonna make one.
The Wonder Woman would be good. The Superman would. I think Iron Studios did Superman too, but
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was just
they're gonna be great.
yeah.
So here's that other Wolverine. I showed it earlier, the head sculpts that he made. So now they printed out the whole body. This is Franco.
Shout out to Short Kings and
This is World War II, so he's got a dead Nazi under his boot, which is cool.
That's great.
This is my face when I saw CMP coming late.
Can you imagine being this jacked and then like you have to wear that that little braid?
Hey,
Can I imagine? Yes.
that's Gary Beret.
This Wolverine's not going to wear that beret. I tell you that much when I get it in.
Jarhead's getting Wolverine we just saw here.
They just fixed. I don't know if y'all remember, but on the helmet, it was a captain's rank. They fixed it because he wasn't an officer. So they like you were saying earlier, Matt. Like these companies, these groups will listen to feedback, so they changed that.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah. Do you think they made the head wider? I don't think so. I think that was just a perspective thing. I don't think they made it wider. I like this portrait a lot with the helmet.
So you got this one PO'd?
Yeah.
I love them. Every Wolverine.
I mean, not every.
There's one, without the base being on. Like you cannot. Like you gotta put the other base.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is only a kit too, so I had to get this painted.
Would you ever contemplate painting your own stuff?
Nah.
Nah.
I don't think I'd do a good job, so I don't have that skill or the patience.
Yeah, I feel eventually I would get it, but I don't have the patience, man. Kenzil's get into it, so
yeah. Well, you see how patient he is in the on the shows, so he's very, very calm and patient the whole time.
We'll get him.
He's already starting to get a little riled up every once in a while. This must be his Canadian roots showing through with the.
Man, he looks so pissed. Oh yeah, that's cool right there.
Looks like Beast almost, right?
Yeah.
This is Franco's. Franco's done so many Wolverines, right? So like you can tell that's a Franco head sculpt. All his Wolverines look like that.
CMP, every time Jarhead shows a Wolverine, I hear that Pokemon, gotta catch them all.
Literally.
I'm not as bad as Dion is with Magneto, so I don't want to hear it.
Wow.
That's true. That's true.
So this finally sold out. I don't know if y'all remember this one. This only had an ES of like 15, so it sold out. So,
I like.
Congratulations. It looked dope. X-Men exclusive, showing off the unboxing bed with multiple statues on it. I think he's planning to put multiple X-Men on this Hulkbuster base. Yeah,
he did. He moved it. He said on the post that he moved.
Did I tell you, Steve, that this is my Hulkbuster base?
Yep.
This is the Hulkbuster that I had. He pieced it out and sold it individual pieces and stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Look at the little book bag back there.
I wonder if when he goes out, he wears that little book bag wherever he goes.
I would.
So here's that other one, the other custom that just came out. It's huge. I don't know if you guys seen the video of it. He's huge.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah, I feel like Prime One would do something like just like this.
Prime One's gonna do so. I guarantee Prime One's gonna do one.
The biggest thing is like this character is a lot. Oh yeah, look at that. That's the no spoilers. No spoilers. You know who that is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Dope.
Actually, that group, the other one that I just showed, is making that character too.
Oh, yeah. Like if you make them in that form, that's gonna sell.
This is finally about to get shipped out to everybody. I showed this a long time ago, but again, showing the process. This is about to ship to everybody. This big ass statue.
Yep. He says it's the same size as the Queen Studios Hulkbuster.
Yeah, I think it's huge. It wasn't expensive either. I think this was like $1,000.
$1,000.
Some shit. Yeah.
I would have got this one, man. To be honest, if I was doing,
it would look good next to your Hulkbuster.
I'm getting the Justice Buster by Prime One Studios. So. Yeah,
I mean, you can't tell me that's not high quality right there. And $1,000, shit. If I was an Iron Man fan, I would have had to pick this up. It's dope.
It is dope.
Somebody else is doing a what's his name is Noel, yeah. I don't know if you can see who, I don't know you guys see who it is, but the V gives it away.
The Russian.
Yes.
Valhan.
This is his first popular character, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know if this is a popular character because it's still kind of a niche character.
Because I know he like he does a lot of B characters.
Yeah.
That's a cool base.
Yeah, this is cool. Like, there's two coming out at the same time. There's another statue that's there's another one coming out. Right? Remember I showed it the last show with the armor.
Oh yeah.
And like walking forward, it looked like he was a Targaryen. From
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I think they're both good. I think this one's a good one too.
I think I would get this one. I like that. The base looks alive.
Yeah, I like this next head sculpt better.
Both the detail in both sculpts are amazing.
Yeah.
Look at the teeth, man. Look at the man.
This guy this guy does a lot. He does a lot.
Yeah. He's all over the place. He's in a lot of different custom groups. Walton says the other custom one was better. Ron Jeezy says, I'm interested in the other armor one with the sword.
Hey, Ron Jeezy, are you from New Jersey by chance? He looks like he has that Jersey Shore haircut.
I mean, I assume you've already gotten a hold of the group. If you don't, just let me know and I'll point you in that direction.
This looks awesome.
I like both of these. I like them both for different reasons. This is me telling CMP why he was late. Pointing. Hey. Why were you late today?
Beat him.
And then Morph. This was a project that got done a while back, but it never got made. So the commissioner's trying a second time to see if it can get made. So obviously it's Morph, and obviously Valhan sculpted this too. So
it's a really nice piece. I like that one.
I like the pose.
Yes, I like it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It fits his character.
Oh.
It does. It's really, really fantastic sculpt.
Yeah, that's what I would put right there.
Oh, I love that, man.
Yeah, I like this a lot. I'll have to get this too when it goes up for pre-order.
That's cool.
And then when CMP was late today,
gave you the middle class CMP.
you know what that means.
I'll get him back on Tuesday. It's all right.
Eastern.
Man, that's all everyone was doing yesterday. Like on my show on Wednesdays or on my show on Saturdays. I was like, God, man, you guys. It was funny.
Except me. I don't care. Yeah, I like this pose a lot.
I hope this gets picked up or printed or whatever. It's cool.
It's picked up. It just needs enough people to get it made.
Yeah.
So it's not too big, not too small, just right.
You think the paint, the yellow, is a little pale?
Well, it's not painted, but yeah, I think it'll be a brighter yellow, maybe.
Maybe a little bit more richer with a little orange on it. Darker.
I don't know. I kind of like the way it would be painted right like that, but we'll see. And that's it. That's the show. Let's get out of here before it gets too late. Appreciate everybody. We still got 23 people in here. Appreciate all y'all sticking around and watching all the slides. I think at one point we had like 40 something people in here. Appreciate it.
Jump.
Yeah. So it dropped when CMP came in. So especially when they heard this, like
because tonight will be the night that I will
definitely dropped a lot of people there. But appreciate everybody as always, man. So if you have any questions about customs or whatever it may be, just hit me up sometime. I don't mind, no matter what time. So I'll message you back eventually. So CMP, man, thanks for hopping on, even though you were late.
Still made it. But like thanks for the invite. I definitely gotta say, I think I'm gonna take Piggy's route this year, as in like clean up my room and focus on organizing everything. Like the Prime 1 news yesterday was bad news for me, but I love what I have right now, so I'm not gonna let that spoil all my fun, So I'm gonna organize the crap out of this thing.
Yeah,
you think Prime 1's gonna do like for example the Red Sonja or the Wonder Woman diorama? You think they're gonna redo that in quarter scale?
My answer is yes. Now, Matt, eventually.
Wow.
I would expect that any kind of popular statues that they have, I would expect them to do it. Just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
So,
Sorry, Steve, I got to pick on you, brother. Why are you gonna be disappointed?
Just like the whole reissue thing, like they did the Bermejo, did the Batman, Superman. Like we talked about it like a while back, but it's just not.
Yeah, but so let me ask you a question: is it because it's a reissue, or is it because it's a different scale? So my question to you specifically is, if you had this piece, would you have gotten into third? Would you have gone third scale?
Would I have gone? Wherever it came out initially, and if I had it, yeah, I wouldn't be mad. But if later on, I find out that it was a reissue, I still would be upset about it. It's more about
my question is, did you go third scale because they didn't have that piece in third scale, or did you go third scale because you wanted to do third scale?
I would say I wanted third scale because the presents and all that stuff. But if they had it in both scales initially, I think I would have took the route of quarter scale. I think, but I didn't have that option back then. But I'm still happy with what I got.
So I guess would the disappointment be? So I guess I'm trying to figure out why I'm trying to get in the mind of a third scale collector or someone who got it.
Well, it's just like with us, right? Like, it's the ES thing, right? Like, why if you made a promise saying that you only were going to keep it at a 30 or 40 ES and you come out with 50 more, regardless of the size, it's the same statue.
I disagree. I think the size is what makes the difference. See, I think a lot of third scale people got their. This is me again. That's the reason why I asked Steve this question. I think a lot of people got their third scale because they liked the piece, and it was only available in third scale. So that's the reason why they went with third scale. You see what I'm saying? So now they're stuck with this third scale line, and it's like, well, damn, man, I thought I was special, or I thought I did something, but I think that they got it because they didn't have no other choice, not necessarily because they, you know what I'm saying. And I think Steve kind of alluded to this. If I had the choice, I probably would have done a quarter.
Yeah, for me, like yesterday on the best day of the week, those guys put up a poll up there, and Matt, like, believe it or not, a large percentage, the biggest percentage of the guys that were watching, like, there's like 80 votes, and people were interested in reissues. They're like, I don't care, I'll take the reissue. And that blew me away. For me, it's like finding, like, going through that and figuring that out. Like, that's cool. I think for me though, it's more of the art, more of like the collectability. Like, if you guys are gonna change up later on, it gets devalued. For me,
I think part of it too is people are more worried about themselves, right? So if it doesn't affect them in any way, they're not worried about it. Or if they're able to pick up that statue that they wanted it to begin with, you know, that's good. You know, that they see it differently because they're going to pick the statue now. So they see it as it's like them being able to get it now. They're not really, no one's really looking, like, a lot of the people aren't looking at the bigger picture and how it affects everybody else. Maybe they don't care or whatever, but they don't care about the rest of the community as far as the ES and that kind of stuff. That's how I see it. You know, everybody's like me. You know, I have a chance to get that statue. Congratulations, I understand. You know, that's great for you, but on the bigger whole, you know, for me, the way I look at it is, you know, there's more of that statue out there, regardless if it's bigger or smaller. So.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of perspectives yesterday, Matt. Like, stuff like I didn't expect, and especially the poll I didn't expect. So,
right, like,
but understanding all of that, like, I'm cool with it. I'm gonna fight Piggy later, so it's all
right. Matt, thanks for hopping on. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks for having me, man. As always, I love it.
Piggy, man, thanks for showing up on time, and you know,
yes, sir.
Appreciate that.
Awesome.
Let's keep that up. You get a star by your name today.
Thank you.
So that's where that apple came from. I saw Giant at the apple next to.
But yeah, let's get out of here, guys. Appreciate everybody as always. Again, questions or anything, hit me up. You know, I don't mind pointing you in the right direction. So, take it easy.
Good night.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women. That is good.